Hey guys, welcome to another assimilation webinar. This is Cotton Grammar. Tonight we have an incredible webinar set up for you tonight. I know that I put on here the top 15 SEO tools, but I think we've got more than that. We wanted to make sure that we covered a broad range of everything that you should have in your toolbox. So I think that you're going to get quite a treat out of this one all in itself. So let me ask you this. I want you kind of decide which way we're going to go. Guys, I want you to give me a yes in right here, a hashtag yes. If you'd like for us to do questions and answers, a hashtag no. If you want us to get right on to going over the software. Whichever wins out is what we'll do. So give me a hashtag yes or give me a hashtag no. We will come back and look and we will find out exactly what you want us to do. I'm actually got my other screen open looking at that to find out what everyone's saying. So looks like a lot of people are saying, all the old OMGers are saying no, and all the new ones are saying yes. Guys, need a lot more people to participate. We have 350 people here. If you're not in the assimilation group participating, we're going to cut out a lot of stuff that we can go over that you need. Guys, everything about assimilation is based on participation. If you're new for OMG, participate. This is how we operate. This is how we work it. So we're getting a lot of yeses, a lot of nos. What are you seeing, Stephen? Yeses or nos? Derek, what are you seeing? More nos than yeses?
Looks like almost everyone is a no.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah, nos are taking it.
Nos are taking it?
Yeah.
All right. We will jump right into, I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving anyone hanging that specifically, hold on, I got to make Derek an organizer. I don't want to leave out anyone that showed up to have a question asked. If you do have a question, please ask it right now, and I will see, and we will answer it quickly. I don't want you to have shown up specifically to ask one of us a question and us not done that for you. So instructions, again, on getting into the assimilation group, simple. You have the we've already sent you the link in the chat box. What you'll do is I'll send it one more time, sending it to all, because if you weren't on, obviously it's not there. That's how you're going to get logged in, and Steven's taking care of getting you in. I'm also clicking approve and people getting in. So, guys, we only have 149 people that have logged in. If you're not logging into this assimilation, and if we don't get enough people participating, we're going to cut everything short. I'm telling you that if you're not in this group, go ahead and get signed up. We've already sent it over there to you. We need participation. So that's like how we make sure that everyone knows what's like going on. We got a lot of no's. So we're going to move on with going over the software itself. So this list we painstakingly compiled, and what we're going to do is just make sure there's no questions. Yeah, no, there's really no questions. What if you don't do Facebook? Then I have no idea how you found out about the webinar unless you just logged into the thing, and I would get on Facebook. Guys, if you're not in Facebook, you're missing out on 50% of the knowledge you could be getting and all of the questions that are happening on Facebook. It is vitally important. I'm like seeing that there's some people that is not on Facebook. I would create your Facebook account and get on there. There's thousands of questions being asked every week that are getting answered by the experts that literally, if you run into, you're going to remember and you can go back and save yourself. So please, if you're not on Facebook, I just think that's a huge mistake. I would definitely do so. Let me say hello to my co-stars before we get started, and go with Derek, who's always on the simulation with me. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Con. How are you?
Always good. How's the weather in Canada?
It was getting chillier. I thought it was going to be fall already, but now it's heating up again, so it's good.
Good. You ready for OMG Live?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm already packed. Let's go.
Good. Like it. And we also have Gregory Ortiz. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Cotton, how's everyone?
Going good. You ready for Assimilation Miami over the weekend?
Oh yeah, can't wait. My flight's at 7 tomorrow morning.
Wow, you're getting there early when we're not going to be there till
Hey,
7:30 Saturday night.
someone's got to start the party.
No, I like that so. And our other guest who is going to be in Assimilation Miami also, Stephen Floyd. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, how are you?
Good. Looking forward to Assimilation Miami.
You know I am.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty big one. Chicago was a wonderful event. We had a lot of people in Chicago. It's a very different event. I don't think we'd ever been in a city that large before. A very beautiful historic hotel directly across. I mean, we could see Lake Michigan from our hotel rooms. It was amazing. Everyone exhausted me. I know Greg got exhausted from answering so many questions. I felt like there was always 15, 20 people around me, and I was getting analyzed and poked and prodded. But it was a lot of fun. Definitely fun hanging out with everyone there. I think Miami is going to be amazing, guys. Miami is not our last date, as I said before. We are going to have one last date that's going to close out Assimilation Tours for 2015. Now, the good news is I have decided we will continue Assimilation webinars in 2016. So that's the good news. We're not going to do them as often. We might do one every other month, but we did them at a fast and furious pace over the last 3 months. We're not going to do it like that, but we'll definitely drag them out a little bit more with our first one, probably being sometime into January, 1st of February. We'll worry about that after the holidays. But our very last assimilation date, 2015, is going to be October 3rd in New York City. And it's going to be a very different one. I know that Mike Long is not confirmed to be at this one, nor is Liz. But the good news is it will be not Stephen Floyd. Who knows? Maybe he is going to go. Gregory Ortiz, Joe Marfolio, myself, Greg Morrison is going to be in attendance. And I have got confirmation that we will have Fletch in New York City as well. We'll also have a lot of the other New Yorkers that are there. I think it could be one of our biggest assimilation dates yet. I will get to posting the information about that. I know that we're currently scouting out locations to have it. We should have a location for it. As soon as we do, I will post that information to give everyone plenty of time to be ready for New York City, which will be October 3rd. Guys, if you are planning on or even thinking about maybe joining us for New York City, can you give me a hashtag NYC? Like to see in advance how many people are going to be joining us if we do New York City. I know that we have a lot of people that are in New York. We have a lot of OMGers out there. Just want to see how many people. Oh, we got quite a bit. We've already got some people posting there. We've generally had about 100 to 150 people show up at every assimilation date. So it's normally pretty good. So we got a lot of people here saying, that they're going to be in New York City. So I look forward to it. I know that we've got Gregory Ortiz that is out right now looking and scouting for locations. And, it's going to be good. So as soon as Gregory completes his task when he gets back from Miami, we will announce that date and go forward from there. So that's the information on assimilation. So more of an announcement than a Q&A, but we will get right on to, and we'll try to keep it short and sweet, or it can give us a little bit more time to kind of talk about a little bit more our top SEO tools that you should have. So we're going to dive right in. And the first one that I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to hand it over to Stephen Floyd, is this one. Guys, if you have not, and guys, we're not going to do these in any particular order. We're not going to talk about any softwares. Here's number one. Here's number two. So what we're going to do is just show you important tools you need to stay focused, to rank, to do a lot of different things. So with this, guys, the number one thing that I would like for you to do is to stay focused. And this was originally showed to me by Mike Long probably about a year and a half ago, and it's been invaluable to me. And guys, what I want to ask you is how many of you have actually heard of or used Enroll Me? Give me a 1. Give me a 1. If this is your first time hearing about it, give me a 2. There's a lot of 2s. Guys, what this is you get distracted in your inbox with all of these offers that come in, and over the years, you've signed up for things you didn't realize you signed up for. Simply what this does is clean up your inbox. And guys, I'm telling you this right now. OMG has every piece of information that you need to be successful with your SEO business. I would literally cut down the noise. I would run your email through this, and I would unsubscribe to absolutely everything to clear your focus, everything. I literally went through here just even yesterday as I was setting up all of the things that we're going to go over. I literally got rid of like 500 brand new subscriptions I didn't even realize I did just over the last year, and literally kind of cleaned my inbox out where it was literally just important things, client messages coming in, just important emails instead of every internet marketer trying to sell me stuff. So, Steven, have you ever used this before?
Yeah, man. Actually, I think Mike's the one that told me about it too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best thing ever. I love when I get, you actually get the email from them that says, here's all the crap that you missed.
Right.
Here's like all rolled up. It's awesome. I love it.
Sure. So guys, please use this. Use it. If this is one thing I want you to do, I want you to stay focused. The last thing that we can do is we could have put this on our 30 or our 10 reasons you're not making 30K, chasing shiny objects. Guys, I even do it myself. I like see these things rank in 30 days. This, and I'll click, goes, what the hell is this? And I'll click on it, and guess what? I've wasted 10 minutes getting a laugh about what someone's selling. When I knew when I clicked on it that it was nothing important, that it wasn't going to work, because I know there's no software that I press a button and it's just going to rank me and I don't have to do anything. I mean, I have to do nothing but just press a button. But yet I wasted 10, 15 minutes. Does that ever happen to you, Derek, or Gregory? Ever?
Oh yeah, it happens to me more than I would like it to happen. Absolutely.
More than I care to admit.
Yeah. Don't you just look just to see how crazy people are?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get stuck on YouTube for like 6 hours doing nothing.
Yeah, right. And this is one of the things that I just wanted out of my inbox. But because I was chasing, what are these guys selling? This just there's no way. And I'll look and I'll go, who's their testimonials? Who's this? Guys, so even if you have no desire to buy anything, you can still waste time. So I might have wasted a couple hours a week just literally looking at other things that I thought I might need to know to tell you guys not to do. So once I got that in my inbox, I was able to be more productive, make some more money. So please run it through your email address and unsubscribe to everything except obviously OMG and some other important things that you really want to get from. But if you don't recognize the marketer, if you're like, God, how did I get on this? Unsubscribe yourself, clean your inbox out. It's going to help you be more productive. So this is one of the tools in your box right now to help you focus and to help you save time. And if you can get back a few hours every day, as I said on the August 12th simulation, hour a day, getting back from out messing around is 30 hours a week. It's almost like adding another work week there. So that's the first one that we're going to go over tonight. Guys, if this is something that you could use, give me a hashtag yes in the assimilation group. If you're going to use this, just give me a hashtag yes. We want to make sure that we're on the right page, showing you guys exactly what you want to see. Just give me hashtag yes, guys. We got about 400 people on, so we should be getting a lot of yeses or nos either way. So that's the first one. It's unroll me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste this and send this out to you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send to all.
Hey, Cotton.
Yes.
Hey, real fast. I'm getting people approved. Guys, just so you know, it's not automatic approval. If you're, somebody that we don't have in other groups, we're not going to approve you for this one either. But where we're commenting tonight, guys, there's a picture of the assimilation poster.
Right.
That's where we're commenting tonight, not on the sticky post.
Right here, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep, not on the sticky post. It's okay. We'll get everyone straightened out. So it's going to be right here. So, yeah, because that's the one I'm looking at, right? You know what? I like say right here. Like if you guys can see my second screen. Oh, my God. I'm so stupid. It's like, no, right here. So it's going to be right here, guys, where you see this picture right here, or if you're in the thread, it's actually going to be not here. It's going to be right here. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and let me pin this one to the top so no one gets confused, and we'll go back and pin the other one. So guys, the one that's pinned at the very top right now, right here with 269 comments, that's what we're going to be commenting in and what we're going to be paying attention to. So there you go. All right. What we're going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Steven, and he's going to go over the next one. Steven, do you want to take the screen, take control?
Absolutely. All right. Change presenter to me. Yes.
Once again, guys, these are in no particular order, but we wanted to go with this one next because we feel that it's very important for beginners or anyone else. So go ahead, Steven.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So, guys, give me a 1 if you can hear me clearly and you can see my screen. Give me a 2 if you can't do either of those things. All right, so it looks like we're pretty good. All right, so a lot of you that have been here for a while, this should probably be something that you're already familiar with. If you're new, though, it may be something that you're not. So what I'm going to do in a very short amount of time is I'm going to attempt to explain a multi-purpose service that was almost basically created for OMG that allows you to do, we call it the Swiss Army knife of SEO tools because it is so diverse and so multi-purpose that the only thing I can do in a few minutes is go through just some really just highlight the basics. So this is Command Center. And this can be, accessed. We'll go over that at the end, actually, how to access it. But there's special pricing for OMG members. And what this is, I'm logged into one of my accounts here. And what I'm going to do is just go through a couple of the features of this. Now, a couple of things I want you to know about the service. Number one, the developer of this is an OMG member and is a solid performer. It's someone, his name is Colin. He's proven himself over and over again. So it's very functional. It's very user intuitive. It's not something that's difficult to use. You're going to have a good experience with it. All right, so let me explain some of the features. And again, if you're new to SEO, you might not really get all of this, but just bear with me. There is video training for every single part. So anything that I show you, if you think, wow, I'd like to do that, but I don't really know how, and once you access each individual portion of this, Colin does a really good job of explaining it. All right. So again, there's probably, I would guess, 50 to 100 individual features in here. So I'm going to hit them at just a very high level. Okay. So I am logged into one of my Command Center accounts here. And so the first thing that I want to highlight is the section called Keyword Research. Okay. And what Keyword Research does is it basically, through an API, so through a software interface, it will pull data from some of the other tools that we are going to talk about tonight specifically. So sometimes you may want to use 2 or 3 different services to do your keyword research. With this service, they've basically, they give you, it's a credit system, so you have access basically to the information from all of these different ones all in one place. So I hope that that makes sense. So instead of going to one site to do this part and a different site to do another part, you can access the data from those external sites directly through here. Okay, and again, this is completely legitimate. There's nothing, underhanded about this. This is completely legitimate through API, meaning that, the person that owns this is paying for those credits. Okay, so it's completely legit. You don't have to worry about, anything. So again, I'm not going to go through each one of these modules, but this is going to give you the keyword research tools that you need, regardless of what type of SEO you're doing. Whether you're doing client work or affiliate work, Amazon, it doesn't matter. The tools that you need are all right here. So just this one section alone, just this, is saving you from probably at least 3 monthly subscriptions elsewhere. Okay? So now I'm going to go to the second section, which is domain research. And again, without going into super great detail, one of the core things that we teach at OMG is using private blog network sites to help rank your clients. And within here is, again, a ton of different tools that you can use that replace several tools in other services that are standalone tools. Okay, so again, this is just, think of this section here as replacing 2 or 3 other tools that, again, you would access separately and pay for separately. Okay, and so this is, basically the domain portion. The next portion is site management. And site management, this is where you could put your clients' sites into here, or your affiliate sites, and it is going to keep track of all kinds of things for you. Again, what you're doing is, instead of paying 2 or 3 or 4 different companies to perform all these different functions, they're providing it right here in one control panel. Now, something I want to point out in this specific area is that this portion, site backups, this is definitely something that all of you are going to do for sure for your sites, and that you would need to pay for if you didn't have another method. And your site reports here, this is something that you can use with clients if you do client work. Okay, but anyway, uptime monitor, basically all of these things are things that all of us are going to be using, pretty much 100%. The next section, rank tracking. This is fairly straightforward, but I would put the rank tracking within this tool against any of the other premium services. So again, if you have a membership here, then you don't have to have a different subscription to a rank tracking service. And as you see here, what Colin has done is he's given you several different choices, so you can specifically track rankings in Amazon, for YouTube videos, local, that's what cities means. And so, again, this is pretty much a one-stop solution here for you as far as rank tracking. The next section, one of my favorites because I do client SEO, is the client acquisition section. And basically what's happened is on assimilation webinars in the past, and actually a couple of things are my training, like this one, Colin, we found a need, and Colin has put together software to fill that need. So Site Auditor Pro, again, a separate piece of software you could pay for. Citation Scanner, a separate piece of software. Review Badges is something that comes from a subscription service from Bright Local, and a mobile prospecting tool. Again, all of these things you would pay separately for, but you get them all underneath one roof here. All right, so almost done. So under the Done For You section, we have a new feature which is called Social Exchanger, and what this does is it allows you on a credit system to be able to do things like get Facebook likes and Facebook shares, and get reviews and things like that. All right, so this is a closed community inside here. All right, so you would be, instead of paying for an outsourcer, let's say, through Fiverr in India, to do some tasks for you, you could get them done right here through people, that you know and trust, right? All right, so the last section, and this is other, and this other probably will be 10 times bigger than this because Colin is always adding new things to this. I think I get an email at least every 2 weeks with the new feature, and so again. So we have a link indexer service here with APIs to the top link indexers. Again, you'd be paying for this. A Google index checker. Very handy tool to do with your PBNs and your client sites. Syntax checker, grammar checker, all of these things in here, again, are things that you would pay for separately, all right? So guys, if I sound like a broken record, I apologize, but in a sentence, if you have a subscription here to Command Center, you're basically replacing probably 10 to 15 different subscriptions with different services, and you are not losing value because the keyword tools here, there's an API to, let's just say SEMrush, for example, which I believe Derek is going to be going over. They have all of the data from SEMrush. So if you access it through Command Center, you're not missing out by not having a unique subscription. You're getting everything in here. All right? So I think for the time that we want to do this tonight, I think that's probably a good overview. Cotton, do you think?
Yeah, that's more information that they need. We just recommend it. Guys, if you're someone new, this is going to have a lot of the tools in it that you're going to need. You're tight on money, you're just starting with OMG. Every SEO needs tools. This is a very, very good one to look at. We just wanted to go over this first before we dig into what some of the individual separate tools do. So
absolutely.
Hopefully that gives you guys a better idea of what you need. Guys, if you guys have OMG Command Center right now, give me hashtag yes in the group. I know that a lot of you should already have OMG Command Center. I just like to see how many of you actually do. As you can see, almost everybody does. So for those of you, what we're trying to do, guys, unfortunately we have 190 plus new OMG members. So we want to make sure that they're aware of this as well. They have a lot of questions. We're going to get into some of the other stuff here in just a moment. So, Stephen, thank you very much for going over with that. I will take back over.
Hey, do you want me to do the other one I was going to do now, or skip it, or do it later? I know we're pressed for time.
Nah, we're not pressed for time. Let's go over something easier, and then we'll come back to yours.
Perfect.
And
awesome. Thanks, Cotton.
Break it up here. Make me presenter. And I've got to find, hold on a second. Wouldn't you know that my OMG Command Center locked up, my thing locked up on here. So, Stephen, it looks like that, go ahead and do yours, man, until I figure out what's going on. I might have to log out and log back in, so we'll see.
All right. Sounds good. I'll go ahead and go. All right, Cotton, you can still see my screen, right?
Right. I just want to make sure that when I have to log out and log back in the webinar, because it's not giving me access to anything. So we will see. And just go ahead and go. Guys, if not, if the webinar ends, just log right back in, but I doubt it will.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, so listen. The next thing that I'm going to cover is something that I use quite a bit, and it's a service called FCS Networker, and you can access that at fcsnetworker.com. And this is actually a multi-purpose software as a service tool, but the primary thing that you're going to use it for, OMG members are going to use it for, is for building networks of Web 2.0 properties. Okay, so again, if you're not sure what a Web 2.0 property is, this tool is probably not for you right now, but if you are, I want to show you just a couple of cool features. So I'm logged into one of my accounts here, and the first thing I want to show you is that it comes with an account creator. Okay, so this is free, and this tool is a software that you download and you run, and within about 10 minutes I can have accounts registered on all of these sites. Okay, and I'm not going to show you how to do this again because that's not what the purpose of this is, but I can use this tool as much as I want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and constantly be creating Web 2.0 accounts. And let me show you the ones that they use. So here is a list of all the sites that are in the service. And I'm not going to go through each one, but as you look, you see how many? There's a ton. Okay, I don't have it counted, but that's all the places that you can create accounts on. Okay, so if you don't want to create accounts, also you can purchase accounts. So there's a little button here that says FCS Store, and I'm going to go to it, but you can get accounts for very, very, very cheap. They're like a nickel a piece or a dime a piece or something, okay? So again, if you're not familiar with Web 2.0s, what I'm selling or what I'm telling you right now is probably not going to make a lot of sense to you. But if you are, you should be able to follow this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the account creator. I'm going to create accounts as much as I want, as often as I want. And once I do, it will then upload them to this control panel. I will then use it to post to my network of Web 2.0 sites, and of course post links on them, for the SEO value. So there is a ton of features in here, again, that I'm not going to go over, all of the features in here, but it makes it extremely easy to build out these sites and to build out networks. It's basically on autopilot because everything is works together. So as you look here, you've got your spinners that you can API in, which is going to spin your content. You've got proxies, and then you've got APIs to get indexing. Here's article builder and content machine APIs for your content that's going to post, and there's GSA API key to send your Web 2.0 stuff directly to GSA, which is another software that we're going to talk about. So basically what this is a one-stop shopping to set up Web 2.0 services. So, again, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, basically what I'm talking about, a Web 2.0 would be a property that's online that would allow you to sign up for an account for free and then post articles. And then you can use those articles, you can post links in those articles to help power up your various sites. All right? And again, I actually have a training on this in my course. There's a lot, but I'll tell you, this has excellent training inside of it. The actual guy that owns this did a fantastic job with all the tutorials. So if you buy a subscription to this, you really don't need to pay for outside training for it if you just go through and take the time to go through the actual training. But it's very powerful. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. And you can manage literally hundreds of thousands of blogs in here. Okay, and in this particular service, the way that you get charged is you get so many submission credits per month. So there's a lifetime license for this, and there's a monthly. But every time you post to one of your sites an article, you lose a credit here. So as you see here, I have 12,000 credits. So I could do 12,000 posts, right? So if I had 12,000 blogs here, I could do one post each per month, right? And this is something like $30 or something, I think, is what the monthly costs for this level. So it's extremely, extremely cheap. So, Cotton, were you able to get out and back in?
Yeah, no, I was able to fix it. Stephen, with just saying one word,
yeah,
and they can put the pieces of the puzzle together. What is probably the number, and just answer it in one word because I know you can. With FCS, with FCS, what is the number one thing that it can help YouTube videos with?
Oh, embeds.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Big time.
We'll just leave it with that. So, guys, very, very important tool that you need to have in your toolbox. If you don't understand quite what it does right now, don't worry. Guys, believe this or not, I've never used it before. I know what it does. I'm familiar with how to use it, but I've never used it. You can still get rankings. So this could just be another tool that I could use, but I do know that it's very, very, very powerful and it can be used. So just keep that in mind. Don't panic, because what I'm wanting this webinar not to be is panic thinking you have to buy everything. You need to know about these things in case you don't know, and that way it's in the back of your mind that, oh, I remember what that can do. Let me go out and get it. So this is going to be a webinar that you're going to be able to come back and reference things towards. So thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Yeah. Hey, Cotton, are you still there?
No, you didn't lose me. I
think we lost him.
No one lost anybody. So, guys, if like this is exactly stuff that is going to help you, give me a hashtag. This is it, because this is the kind of stuff that we wanted to show you. We're going to go over some more pretty cool stuff. So this is exactly what we wanted to show you. Good. And guys, remember, One of the number one things we talk about, we just dropped a huge bomb on there. We get this question asked more than ever. We just answered it for you and threw it right in there. So the next thing I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over a very easy one, guys, but one that's very important. That's Grammarly. And the reason that I love Grammarly so much is because everyone talks about how you want original content on sites, and this is what I use to check it. Now, what I've done, I went to iWriter, I bought an article, and I just pasted it in here. And I can tell you what it just showed me up here. You go over, I'm going to go over this very quickly because Grammarly is very self-explanatory. It's one of the most amazing tools you can have in your toolbox. Is look at this right here. This is an iWriter article that I paid for, and this is it. What you do is you go in right here, and there's a plagiarism checker, and look at this. Finds unoriginal text by checking against a database of over 8 billion web pages. It's 96% unoriginal. So obviously, excuse me, iWriter's not doing a very good job. If you notice right here, look at what it said. It is found in unoriginal 126 words. You can click down here, and it's showing you from where. SEOmachine.weebly. Here it's like showing you all of these places where these 126 words came from. Now, guys, if this doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what does, but not only that, it's fixing punctuation. So you just click on that, it put a comma right there. But once again, you go to plagiarism, and it just showed you exactly all the stuff that you could be correcting all through this. And if you look, here's another unoriginal 165 words. And it's going to tell you, it's telling you wordiness. Change deserve to deserve. You click on that, it automatically changes it. So for those of you that don't have Grammarly, we've posted it in the OMG group. You can get it for well over 50% off. This, to me, is one of the 10 things I can't live without. I'm horrible at grammar. I'm horrible at spelling. But it's not only that. When I go into Facebook, and it's automatically embedded in. When I do this and I type out something, it automatically, it might not do it now that I want it to, but it'll fire up right in here, right in my emails. It'll let me fix anything that I want to fix. So when you get an article, guys, you can slap it in here. You can tell its originalness, whether they did the right grammar, whether they did the right English. This is what's going to get your content clean and get it online. This is what I've used. And if you look down here, there's 21. I know it's hard for you to see, but 21 critical issues. It is 100% unoriginal. So that's why I like Grammarly. And this is what I use it for. So, guys, if that was helpful to you, give me a hashtag helpful. If you know that you need to add Grammarly into your toolbox. We're going to do it fast and furious. We're just going to keep moving through here and just keep showing you guys what you need to do. This Grammarly is something that you really need to use for building PBNs, looking at them, all of that sort of stuff. The plagiarism checker is just amazing. It's just amazing. So you're going to know whether your articles are original or not. Are any of you guys using it? Derek, Gregory, Steven, any of you guys using it?
Yeah, I use it every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I teach it in my course. I mean, it's one of those things we talk about, not just for plagiarism, but also your grammar is actually part of your quality score from Google. So it actually helps you rank and helps your PBN stay safe. I agree with you. It's a must-have. You gotta have it.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't realize just how naked I was without it until I got it. And you know what? Literally, there's no telling how many misspelled words it would have in OMG posts and my emails to clients and other stuff. And believe it or not, I've got, and what's really strange is I've got 2 national ACT and SAT tutorial companies that are my clients. And what happened is that I didn't turn Grammarly on, and I sent it to him, and he goes, by the way, you missed 2 commas. In the email that he sent over, I said, oh, wow. I said, sorry, I didn't have Grammarly on. And you know what? Since then, it's made me very conscious to where you don't know that literally some clients, if you've got too many misspelled words, too many punctuation errors, it could be it. I mean, you don't know what goes through their minds sometimes. So it's just help clean up me. I'm a the worst speller in the world. So that's one of the things that I feel that's vitally important for you guys to go over. What we'll do is next is we will let Derek, are you prepared to take us on a lesson?
Yeah, sure.
Great. If you want to go ahead and take the screen whenever you're ready and go over the next one.
Okay. I don't remember how to do this.
Here, let me just go ahead and give it to you. I'll make you the presenter. And hold on. I don't know where. There it is. Okay, you got it.
All right. You see my screen right now?
Not yet. We do now.
Okay. All right, so the first tool I was going to show tonight is SEMrush, and I do use this pretty much on a daily basis. It's obviously in SERPed there, and so if you have a subscription there, you probably don't need to have this, but for some things like showing clients their actual rankings live, it's nice having a dedicated system just for that. So I just plugged in just a random site here, and you can just see some of the cool things they have in here. You got, if you ever want to know what a site's ranking for, you just come in here, you just click on positions, and you notice that they have 4.8, so it's 4,800 keywords, and you can see the position changes, even the competitors. You can actually sort it by volume of traffic, so this means that almost 50% of their traffic is just from the word acoustic guitar. And you can actually see the trends in here, and they even give you the actual SERP source, which is kind of neat. I do this sometimes for researching things like over a year ago, and I just kind of want to see what it looked like in the search results, because you can get the actual page titles and the descriptions and see how they change things over time before you even took them on as a client, etc., like that. One of the new features on here just came out is just pages. So if you're ever wondering just what a page is ranking for on the site and like what page on their site is getting the most traffic, this is a pretty cool little thing here. You can actually pick out, if you're doing market research and you want to do acoustic guitars, and you know this page is getting six different keywords, and it's almost 4% of their traffic, so it's probably something that's worth looking into. What else can you do in here? You can also check for if they're having traffic in just UK or Germany or France, which is pretty neat. You want to see how they're ranking in different countries, especially if you're doing national competition or companies, and you kind of want to. You can improve a lot of the search if they have shipping across the world, right? So you can do quite a lot of cool things with it. Most of the time I'm using it for penalty recovery. So what you can do is you go to the overview here, and you can see the traffic, and you can see the traffic trends here, and this is for their search engine rankings, and you can tell that they're doing AdWords as well. You can do the AdWords over in advertising research here, but usually what we're doing is looking for big dives in their ranking traffic. Obviously this site's doing pretty good now, it's just going up and up. Can anyone else not see my screen? No.
Oh, your screen's up. Your screen's up.
Might be because I'm crawling at the same time.
No,
Yeah.
I see it.
Okay. Well, there's about 4 people. Okay. All right. I was using the Screaming Frog at the same time, so it might have been killing my bandwidth. So, anyone have questions about this kind of tool? It's about, I think it's, what is it, $50 a month. A lot of the times, like these tools, you can actually share with a couple of friends. Like this one, I share with 1 or 2 people, I think, and it just, it cuts down the costs. So as long as you're not all logged in at the same time, you can use it over and over. Also, it gives you some cool stuff like the competitor research, it's like the competitor levels. This is, I'm not even sure what this 72 actually means. I've never used it, but it looks pretty cool.
One of the things.
So, I mean, Well,
One of the things also, Derek, is this is in my top 5. Like, I could not live without SEMrush. I use it every day.
No, yeah. Like one of the things that I've started doing using this for is if I'm buying a really expensive PBN, and it's like $500 or more, I usually like to make sure that they had some rankings before I take it over. And if it's otherwise, you can tell if it's been panda penalized or hit by a penguin, and that's the reason they got rid of it, right? So usually it'll be a big dive down here, and if you look at in Wayback Machine, if the site was still up in that time, that means that they probably got a penalty. And so it's the same thing you're going to do with clients. You're going to come in here and you're going to look for spikes and try to look for steep declines, and you try to line it up with the dates of any panda update or a penguin update. And usually that's going to give you a lot of information on whether or not you should take this client on, or you're going to need a detox, or et cetera, like that. So, but it's mostly just going to come in here and play with it and get used to it, because there's quite a lot of cool things you can do with it. You just want to go right into the another tool, because we got 3.
Yeah. Just like go ahead and do one more. Sure.
You want to do Screaming Frog or Link Research Tools?
Let's just do Screaming Frog right now.
All right. So Screaming Frog, I actually put the same site in here, and what it does is it spiders your site like a bot does. So it's the same thing that Google does, but you can actually change some things. You can ignore canonicals, you can ignore no follows, and ignore no index pages and stuff like that. So, but I do use this quite often, especially for sites that are larger. Like the one we just looked at has, it has over 6,000 pages, and I'm not even done crawling it. I paused it at 89%. But what you can do is you can actually start crawling a client's site. You can start looking at it. You can start seeing if they have all these. Obviously, they have a lot of 404 pages. So that's something that you can point out to the client that they want to start, try and get this fixed. And there's quite a ton here. And you can start looking for duplicate content. And I usually do that there's a couple ways, but one of the ways is just looking at the titles to make sure that there's not too many of the same ones. And usually for like online stores or even big sites like this where they have lots of posts or variations, I usually make sure that canonicals are properly set up. And then, sorry, my kids here. Okay, and so that's about it for this one. I mean, you can go in here for hours and hours, but
great.
You mind taking over, Connor, for a bit?
Sure.
Dismiss someone from my daughter here.
No, that's okay. Guys, what we wanted to do is just show you very, 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 very quickly is, one, SEMrush is very, very, very powerful. Let me go ahead and take the screen back. And Screaming Frog is also in the list as well. Well, let me make myself the presenter here. So,
hey, Cotton?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I could finish Screaming Frog if you wanted me to, but if that's we covered it well enough, we can move on.
Yeah, I think we've covered it enough, guys. Just know that it's something that you need to have in your toolbox. It's not an easy tool if you're a beginner, nor should you really be worried about it if you're a beginner. It's just something that when you become more experienced, it's something you want to put in there. One of the things that I do want to just go over with SEMrush very, very, very quickly is what I use it for also is if you're looking for keywords, like even just St. Louis, and you put it in here, what it basically does is it's going to give you also alternate keywords for St. Louis. So if you'll look, you can export these out also. That's like what I like. So like if I wanted to go and know, okay, what's the best keywords that I need to be going after linking wise for St. Louis SEO? What are some of them that are getting traffic? It's going to tell me right here. These right here, I can export it out to a spreadsheet, put those in. I know that that's what I need to be linking out to. Yes.
Hey, Cotton, your screen's not sharing, right?
It says it is. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I can't see it. I see the welcome presenter screen.
Got it.
There you go.
There we go. Good. Sorry about that, guys. What I like to do is something that I like to use this for, once again, is if we go into Chicago SEO, and if I want to know, that's what I'm going after, what keywords are getting traffic without having to pull up Keyword Planner. It's very, very, very quickly. I can see all of the keywords here. I can view the full report and look at everything that's getting traffic for Chicago right here, and I can then export it. So if you'll look, all of these right here, as soon as I logged in, it would give me the rest of them. I am a paid member. Then you can see all the traffic that it's getting, all the long tails. I can also export that out. So I can have that in a spreadsheet also. So I can know what I need to be linking out to or what keywords that I need to hit. So this is I use this all day long. Same way with advertising or anything else. It's just very, very important, just like Derek said with traffic. Something that you definitely need in your toolbar. Guys, you can definitely use this for free. I mean, you get so many levels, you're just not going to be able to export out, do some certain things, but you can definitely play around with it for free and get a lot of information out of it. Now, what I'll do is I'll go over next is I will have Gregory Ortiz go over one of the most talked about, and we're going to get to them. Guys, if you're new, you'll want to pay attention to this. Gregory, if you'll want to take over the screen right now, you know what, while this is up, I might as well do this because everyone's seeing it. And then we'll just go over to you. Guys, my favorite spinner that I use if you spin articles or if you do anything, if you got to spin is Word AI. I haven't found one that's any better. And it's simple that you could put an article in here and you can take it up to unique, hit this. I guarantee you that it will pass Grammarly's plagiarism check 100%. And I can go through, man, I just deleted Grammarly. But if I would have, I could have slapped this article in here, spun it, took it back through to Grammarly, corrected all of the punctuations on it, checked the plagiarism checker. It would be a 100% original, not unoriginal, and it would be a good article. I've done this several times if I'm in a pinch, if I got to do something really quick, obviously fresh, handwritten articles that are original are a whole lot better. But if you must pay and use a spinner or something that's going to do it, or if you need to put something in spin tax to where you're going to be posting over and over again, this is the one that I would use. This is the one that I recommend is Word AI. So Gregory, we will go back over to you. We'll do that very, very, very quickly. Guys, if you're learning something from this, let's go over here. Guys, if you're learning something so far and this is beneficial to me, give me a hashtag. Love it. Just give me a hashtag love it. We got several more to go through. This is very different than we've ever did before. We just want to know if these are the type of webinars that are helping you, if you're actually getting anything from this. And, we want to make sure that you guys have all the knowledge that you need. We've really never went over software or any other things that we use or that we recommend. Thought you guys might enjoy it. The guys participate, let us know. And we can keep doing webinars like this. We can do rundowns of a lot of different things if it's helping you guys. But we need feedback because it's a very different type of webinar that we've ever done before. It's just going over different softwares, talking about why they're important, why you need to do them. So, Gregory, what we'll do is we will turn it over to you. And Gregory, guys, for those of you that are new, we're going to go over two very important tools. The first one we're going to go over is Majestic SEO. The second we're going to go over is Moz. And Gregory's going to talk about Majestic and why it is so important to all of us. So let me make sure you should have the screen, Gregory.
Okay, perfect. Are you able to see my screen? You should see Google.
Not yet.
Okay.
We do now.
Okay. You said you do now or you do not?
We see it now. Oh, right along
Okay.
hearing Derek suck on his electronic cigarette.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So pretty much I use Majestic for a lot of different things. What most people will use it for, and I primarily use it for it as well, is analyzing competition. So I live in New York City, so let's just pretend like I just got a brand new client that was a dentist, and he wanted to take over for a New York dentist. So obviously the first thing I'll do is research the competition. So I'll type in the the keyword up top. Then I'll go down, and this one right here I'm not going to take just because it's a directory. I'm going to go with the actual site right here, Pearl Dental NYC. Then I toss it into Majestic, right? Now when I search for it, it tells me a few different things. It tells me it's trust flow and citation flow. So trust flow and citation flow, by definition, kind of confuse a lot of people. And I'll just tell you what my definition is. It may not be like the official one, but it's how I view it. For me, trust flow means, how much authority your site might have as far as trust goes in Google's eyes. And I know that might sound like a little bit confusing, but really what it means is if you have a lot of sites that are considered trustworthy, like Wikipedia is a trustworthy site, about.com is a trustworthy site. The more of those you have pointing to a site, the higher your trust flow goes. Citation flow is pretty much the number of sites. So you want to have a close correlation between the two, because you don't ever want to have it where you have tons of sites pointing to you, but they're considered low quality. Because when that happens, you have a high citation flow and a low trust flow. You actually want to have the opposite. It's harder to find a higher trust flow than citation flow, even though they do exist. But what you want to have at least is as close to a 1-to-1 to maybe 1-to-2 times ratio, because that's showing you just at a glance that a site is somewhat clean. So when I'm looking at my competition, if I was able to see something like, let's pretend this was a 5 and a 22, I already know that right away I'm going to have a good time trying to take over this particular niche. So here they're pretty close, 1-to-1, and you could do the same analysis for your money site as well. Next thing I like to do is go down to anchor text. This is also very important, as Greg teaches in all of the lessons. You want to make sure your anchor text ratio is diversified. You want to make sure there's no spam in here. I prefer Majestic above some of the other ones just because Majestic has a pretty large index and they update quicker than some others. So I have more data than some of the other crawlers will. There are other crawlers that do it a little bit more often, but I like Majestic just for that. Also, another big point was something that was mentioned in a simulation webinar, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, when everyone was asked what is the hardest metric to fake, and everyone replied that it was trust flow. So because trust flow, it can be manipulated, but it is the hardest to manipulate. That's why I like to go by Majestic and go by trust flow, citation flow. And plus, you can also see here really quickly, you see what backlinks this competitor has. So I might be able to go to these sites and see if I'm able to get a backlink from my client as well. So I'm kind of matching them up 1 for 1 going in on it. Okay. Anything else you want me to go into detail on, Cotton, in particular with Majestic? I know we're on a time constraint.
No, we're not big on that big a time constraint. I want the new people and everyone to know. Derek Derek, can you do me a favor and just give your definition of trust flow and citation flow very, very, very quickly?
Sure. Well, okay, it is pretty much exactly like the way Greg was saying. It's just citation flow is kind of like power, right? And then trust flow is kind of whether or not that power is trustworthy or not. So it's kind of as the more links you get, the higher your citation flow is going to flow. But whether or not those links are coming from quality sources, it's usually going to be your trust flow will go down, but it can go up if it has better quality sources. But you have to know that citation flow only goes one way. It only goes up. So the more links you get, it's always just going to go up, where your trust flow can actually go down. So you start doing a linking campaign and you have spammy links, your trust flow starts going down, 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 down more, right? So if you start using like a GSA or anything like that. Another thing on here is the way there's different variations. Like, so right now we're on subdomain. So that means that that's combining all the URLs on that subdomain. So anything after the www, right? And then so if Greg switches to the root, you see that. So this is when I'm usually buying domains, I usually try to use the root as my main metric to go off of, because this is going to give you everything on that domain. So any subdomains, any subdomain URLs, any URLs past the regular root domain here. And so this one is usually going to be the strongest one, or at least the most accurate. That's going to have all the URLs, right? So a lot of times if you're buying a PBN in an auction, you want to make sure that this is the strongest, at least, or at least is pretty strong. Your subdomain and your URL could be a lot higher, and those are the ones you're going to try to set up your domain on. But when your root is really weak, it means you could have a lot of pages that have zero trust flow and lots of citation flow. Also, there's the path on there as well. So that just means if you just wanted to choose any URL string, so any string like after the, say like a certain page, the path will just display anything after that on that URL and after that, if that makes sense at all. But anything else? There's topical trust flow.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to ask you is that when you're looking to buy a PBN, we have a lot of new people. You should always look at the historical index, right?
Yeah, when you're with dealing with PBNs, you want to look at the more historical because the historical is the last 5 years, right? And then the recent's usually only 90 days. So, and what happens with a recent is how many people are actually link building to a PBN that's been expired for, a month or 2 months, right? So it's really going to swing one way or the other because the recent trust flow, it could be one or two links powering that whole thing, and you think you're buying a trust flow of 30 domain, but then you look at the historical information and it's a 0, right? So literally over the last 5 years, they have no trust, and it could have just been some of the domains saying, oh yeah, we got this domain for auction, this, and that's what's pumping up the trust flow, right? So you have to really look into that.
Good. Guys, I want to give you a little hint, and I could be wrong, but it's happened too many times. When you put in this in OMG Command Center, you get back the fresh index, not the historic. I never buy PBNs based on fresh. I do as Derek says, I buy on historic. I hate that fresh index. It just tells me what's been going on for 90 days. Always use historic, because what happens is if I'm looking for a particular type of trust flow and citation flow, let's say I'm wanting a 25 and a 25. I want a 25 trust flow, 25 citation flow. I might get that on the fresh index, but as soon as I go historic, all of a sudden, now it's a 17 and a 14. Or, it's lost half its power. And that's the ultimate power that it's got over the life of it. So I'm very careful when I buy that I look, and I only buy myself, and everyone else could have a different philosophy, a different idea. I only buy off historic. So guys, be honest with me that when you're on here right now, how many of you have been ignoring the historic on Majestic? Give me a 1. Only we can see it. You don't have to post it in the group. Just give me a 1. If like you've been ignoring it. Yeah, almost everybody. Guys, don't ignore that. That's very important. But because what can happen is that you get a PBN and it looks good, and then you hit that historic, it loses half its power. Don't you agree, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I only use historic as well. In fact, when I do my research for PBNs, the number one thing I want to know is what is the oldest, most powerful link going to it. That's the main thing I care about. That it's got some links that have been around for a while, that are powerful, that are likely to be there. Because, I'm sure people here that are new, and even some people that are old, have got some sites and they had some really good stats, and a month later they looked at them and they were absolutely worthless. And what happened was, they used that fresh and they had some new links and they went away, and boom, it's worthless now.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely historic all the way, brother.
Gregory, can you do me a favor with your mouse and click back and forth? You know what? Just go ahead and click from there. There's where it is, guys. Where's mouse is. Now look what happens to the power. See that? The trust flow 3 is citation flow of 1. And go back to fresh. And we can even pull up another site. Gregory, can you just pull up a random site somewhere? Just pull off a random site from a search engine, and then let's do it. Just to give everyone a good idea, because I want everyone to know the right PBN to be buying. So there, Gregory's pulling Premier Dental Associates, and he's going to put it in, and we're doing fresh right now, and he's going to search for it. And now look, it's 17 and 43. Now hit historic. And now look at that. It's lost 6 points of trust flow over the life of the site. That to me, yeah. Now let's check the root. Guys, remember, as Derek brought up a very valid point, www is always a subdomain. It's real. Now look at it. See there, guys? It's a trust flow 8. It's a trust. Now go to historic. The trust flow 6. So generally, when you always go to historic, it loses off the fresh. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Everyone that's came to me, I've been getting all these over the last couple months. Cotton, should I buy this PBN? And they're giving me a screenshot of OMG Command Center. It just does fresh. So make sure, guys, you get so many searches a day in Majestic. Make sure when you're buying your PBNs that you're using historic. So, guys, if this was helpful to you, just give me another hashtag hell yeah. because I want you guys to know how to use these tools correctly. So,
and if you also go to the new tab in the new and lost, you can actually see for new, you can see if a PBN's been spammed right before you bought it, because usually it's going to have a big spike at the end.
Right. One of the other things that I would like, Stephen, can you just take a moment and, hold on. Yeah. Go ahead and explain that, Derek, whatever you're going to explain.
Yeah, so this is kind of the way they're building links. So a lot of times you'll get into an auction where people might be just sending a massive amount of links just before they go up for auction because they're trying to sell it, and usually they'll have a big spike at the end there, and that's going to increase their domain authority. Even if they're doing it right, they can increase their trustful and stuff like that. So it could be a lot of spammy links going on there, or the site could have been hacked and there's like a whole another subfolder that someone's trying to rank, Nike shoes or, selling purses and stuff like that on their site, and you can tell what's kind of going on because you just see this massive amount of increase, like having that many, like 2,000 new backlinks built in 1 month versus every other month, you got, nothing. It's very fishy, right? So it's just kind of giving you a little bit of a background story of what actually happened on there. So, and also you can look at the anchor text too. It's on the tab there. And one of the things that people always kind of overlook here is they're always like, oh, it's always over optimized. It's like all these, say like one keyword or whatever here. But there's, for example, let's see, is there a good one there? Stop moving so I can see. So, like website, it looks like, it's, if that was a keyword, people would be like, oh, that's kind of over optimized. There's lots of those anchor text. But then you look at over on the right here, 92 out of those 94 are actually no follow. So that's not going to actually affect their profile at all. And Majestic has a little bit of a disability in this because there's no click here and ignore all no follow links, right? So you have to actually consider that there's different columns here for all the different anchor texts here, for you got total, deleted, and no follow. But you can see that anything that they might have been ranking for, like Invisalign New York City, has zero trust and zero citation flow. So most likely they weren't probably ranking very well for that because there's no power behind those anchor texts. So that's kind of the stuff you want to look at when you're looking taking on a client. You can look at each individual keyword and how that's the quality of the sources they're using to get those anchors. So I'm done.
Great. Thank you. Sorry, I was muted and I was talking. Could we go back to the main page, Gregory? Go back to the main page. Stephen, one of the biggest things that I have learned when I'm talking to new people, and we have several of them here, is I want you to elaborate on this. They always look at external backlinks. What is the difference between external backlinks and referring IPs? I think a lot of people get confused with that.
Between referring domains and referring IPs?
Right.
Yeah. So that's a very important point actually. So what you want to look at here, referring domains obviously is how many different addresses are pointing to your site. So www.abc.com, right? That's one domain, right? But referring IPs, would be what's the address of that www.abc.com. So you could have 100 referring domains, right? All 100 different websites, but only coming from 5 or 10 IPs, right? And so what that's telling you is that all of those sites are all hosted at the same place, which basically means that you are significantly getting diminished returns from that. Because if you have 10 websites on 10 different hosting accounts and IP addresses, 10 sites with 10 different IP addresses pointing to you, that has a certain amount of power. If you have 10 sites on one IP address pointing to you, there's not an exact formula, but rather than getting a value of 1 for each, so let's say each one is 1 point, you're not going to get 10 points if they're all on one. You're probably going to get like 2 points is probably what you're going to get. So what you want to look at is you really want to make sure that you're referring domains and you're referring IPs, that those numbers are very close, that there's a correlation, because you can, and this is one of those things that Google has announced publicly. that we pretty much know is true. So a lot of things they say are BS, right? To confuse us. But this is one of the things that they've kind of admitted to. They definitely track referring IPs, and they definitely devalue links as they come. The more links you have from one IP, the less value each one of those links is going to have going to a single site.
Sure, great. Stephen, just so everyone gets a good idea, what if we seen the external backlinks 15,508 and there was only 18 referring domains? Is that good or bad?
Yeah, generally that's going to be really bad. So what you're looking at with something like that is probably you're going to have site-wide links, which means that they may have a single link in the footer of a website that has lots of pages, or in a widget. But basically, like Derek and Gregory were explaining earlier, what you're probably going to see with that is you're going to see a very low trust flow as compared to citation flow, because again, one site has 100 links to you. That's not 100 votes for you, the same as if 100 different sites send you one link. And as a matter of fact, site-wide links actually, depending on your niche and what your keywords are, they actually can hurt you. They actually can hurt your rankings, just the fact that you have site-wide links. So, like what Cotton's wanting to illustrate here is the fact that a lot of times more backlinks looks good, and we see a number like 15,000 and we think, wow, that looks great, but as you see here on the screen, you see that 6 trust flow and that 4 citation flow. That's 4 times as much. So now look at the referring domains toward the external backlinks. If there were, let's say, even 2,000 or 3,000 referring domains, right, instead of 400, that trust flow would be significantly higher, probably.
Right.
Probably would be double or triple. So this is one of those things, guys, where it's a delicate balance, and you really kind of have to understand all the different elements individually and how they work together.
Sure. Guys, I want you to be honest just to see that this has been helpful to you. How many of you were always going to Majestic and just looking at the trust flow and the external backlinks? Give me a 1. Just give me a 1. Because I like it. I mean, that's okay. See what I'm saying here, guys? This is why I wanted to go over this.
That's a lot.
Yeah, guys, it's very important. Right. Guys, referring domains and IPs are very important. That's how many domains that the links have came in from. So if you're buying a PBN and you only see 8 referring domains, but you see 15,000 links and that trust flow right there, should you buy that PBN? Yeah, it's absolutely not. I wouldn't even buy it even if the trust flow was 20 and it had 8 referring domains and 8 referring IPs. You wouldn't buy it. I mean, if you lose 4 links, your website's done. So look at everything, guys, and this is why I wanted to spend a little extra time going on this, because I really didn't feel like anyone really grasped Majestic very well and why we wanted to go over it. And a little bit, yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I think my connection's in. Can I go back to SERP on one thing really fast?
Sure.
So, without sharing my screen, because a million people have asked, SERP is pulling historical data from Majestic, but it's not showing it in the standard control panel. You're going to click on a little button that says over time, and then there's a graph. So if you didn't know, to do that, then you would have been missing it. So just for everyone that's asking, it is pulling it because I can see it, but it's not what's presented by default. So you're going to have to, when you use a command center and you look at the Majestic data, you're going to have to click another button and then kind of go through that. So,
thank you.
Yeah, so it is in there, guys, but it's not obvious. So I didn't even notice that. Thanks for bringing that up, Cotton. I didn't even notice that. I've probably been guilty of eyeballing that myself and just going off of it. So
I've been burned too many times, off of different stuff going with Fresh. Guys, if this little mini Majestic lesson right here has got you smarter, give me a hashtag smarter and like OMG. Guys, I know that a lot of you are confused by some of these things. That's why we also wanted to go over. Also, guys, this is another one that I could never live without. I cannot live without Majestic. Could you? I mean, can any of you guys live without it?
No,
Absolutely not.
not at all.
Yeah.
Have
Derek,
to have it.
Derek, did you fall asleep or?
What? Sorry. Could I go with, yeah, this is the tool I use more than any other tool. So
Right.
every single day,
Great.
100 times a day.
That's why I wanted to spend some time on this to just get in the minds of all of us here so you guys can see what we're seeing, so you guys can make better purchases, to actually know how to use your tools. So with that, I will take the screen back and make me the presenter. Show my screen. And we were on Majestic. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over, guys, one that we always use a lot, which is Moz. So we can take something like CNN.com and just enter that in there. And what it is, guys, is for you to basically understand the power of what domain authority is, we need to see. I'm going to give you a little mini lesson for those of you that really don't know what domain authority is if you're brand new. Guys, we can look at CNN and it's a domain authority of 100. We can look at Facebook and it's going to be the same way. It's going to be a 100. But we can look at me and look at what I am. So I'm a 40 out of a 100. So guys, it's literally the power of a website. I want you to look at it, and I'm going to try to explain it to where new people can understand it. Might be a silly explanation. Look at it as that you have a power rod or you have a power plant, and this is how high the power is turned up out of 100. So the best explanation that I can give you, what I've always looked at to explain to new people, is if you've got a 40 domain authority, the higher the trust flow kind of tells you how potent that power is. Then there is page authority. Page authority goes by that individual page. My main page is a 45. But if I go to Chicago SEO and turn it in, then as you can see, it's a 38. So different pages are going to have different page authority. The domain authority always stays the same. So this is one of them that we always use a lot. Every day we look at domain authority to find out just how much strength this site has. And then I go to Majestic to find out how potent that power is. So for instance, if I've got a domain authority of 40, but I've got a trust flow of 1, guys, that's telling me that that's not a very powerful 40 whatsoever. I'm doing this for you new people. But if I've got a domain authority of 40 and I've got a trust flow of 25 and everything looks good, that tells me that my 40 is pretty potent. So this is kind of a brief explanation. I don't want to get into too much better details. I'm doing this for the new people. Some of the things that you can also look at is, look, it's going to show you with my Chicago SEO site, I've got 119 Facebook shares, 298 tweets, and I don't have that many likes on Facebook, just 2,300. So guys, this is what you use with this. Now, if you get into Moz Premium, which I have, it has quite a bit of things that you can use and look for. You can also go to a crawl test. There's a rank tracker that they just added, keyword difficulty, and I use this all day long. And we're going to talk a lot about this at OMG Live, but if we just wanted to type in Chicago SEO and find out how difficult it is to rank, it's basically going to tell us on a scale of 1 to 100 how difficult it's going to be to get there. And if you look, it's a 47%. So when we go to something like SAT training or like SAT just course, then we can see that we're going to get a whole lot bigger difficulty than we would Chicago SEO. It's a very competitive market, everything else. So this can also tell you the weight of the move that you're going to have to do, how difficult it's going to be. Now, we went over this before. So Moz is got a lot of different things involved. That you can see that 67%. And if you clicked on it, what you can do is it's going to show you all of the other people and why. Their page authority right here is 34. Their domain authority is 92. This is a pretty big boy keyword right here. If you look at it, of all the people that are on the top 10, the average domain authority of all these people is generally in the 90s. This one right here, I'd be suspicious to see what they're doing right here. If they're coming in like this, maybe they're using some other stuff to block them from coming in. I don't know, but I'd like to take a look at them and curious why their numbers are like that in there. But you can also do grading and on-page grader, which is, enter in a URL, enter in a keyword, and it's going to give you optimization of about different mistakes you've got. It's going to give you a grade. So overall, there's many different things that you can use, but the number one thing that you're always going to be using, obviously, is the Open Site Explorer, which is going to give you the domain authority, page authority, and social shares. And guys, Moz, I would not use Moz as your 100% Bible on backlinks. They're very slow on crawling. Majestic, I think is second. Moz trails way behind that. And we're going to go into this, guys. If that's a good explanation of what Moz does, just give me a 1, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Or give me a 2 if you need a little bit more explanation.
Cotton?
Yes.
Can I throw something in on Moz real quick?
Sure.
One thing that I want you guys to understand, if you use the tool is really good. Overall, it's great. Everything that Cotton said is true. One thing I want you to be hesitant about, though, the information, quote unquote, that's on Moz as related to SEO, you can pretty much ignore that. Okay, Moz is a Google partner at the highest level, so they're basically they're going to tell you what Google wants you to know. So use the tool, but ignore the the quote unquote training.
Sure. Absolutely. Guys, another thing that I just thought of that I can show you as well that Moz has got really good that's free. That's another tool that I think that you should go out and get installed instantly, especially if you use any browser is guys, do you see up here? See that right there? That says 94. That's domain authority. So I've got a little tracker up here. This is the Moz toolbar, and I can click it, and it's going to bring it up right down here, which is not what I want. But if I click it again, anytime I go to a particular website, I can find out the domain authority of the website without ever having to leave and go check with Moz. So, if I'm going and checking out links or whatever, it's very helpful up there. Also, guys, it doesn't hurt to get Majestics. If you log into it, you can pull it right up through here. You can see they have a trust flow 63. You can even get the backlinks from right here. You can do all of this sort of stuff from these two tools right here, right in your toolbar, if that's something that you want to do also. I have those, use them quite frequently. So hopefully you've been able to get some information out of this. We're going to jump right in onto the next one, which is going to be Ahrefs. And Ahrefs is one that I use quite a bit. What are they doing? Are they out? Ahrefs, we want to talk about you, and you don't work. Guys,
live webinar.
Wow. Live on a webinar, you go down Ahrefs, so looks like we're not going to be talking about you today. Guys, one of the things I'll say about Ahrefs, and we'll just move on, is Ahrefs has probably one of the best crawlers out on the market. They crawl at a rate better than Majestic, better than Moz. You're probably going to get a better accurate reading of links coming in than any other place. They're adding a lot of stuff. They're basically trying to turn into a SEMrush at this point with all the different things. Pardon?
Sorry, it's up for me.
Really?
Maybe refresh.
Hold on.
I went to the subdomain, and it's working off of the sub. I just type in, just go straight to Ahrefs, not, you're at the net. Yeah. Just go straight to the root.
That's what I'm going to do. No, it's not letting me.
It's probably your cache. Yeah, maybe it's your cache. Do you want me to show my screen and we can talk us through it?
Hold on. I'm gonna clear it, then we'll find out. Or you know what we can do? We can come back to it, unless we have someone to go over something else. Did any of you guys have anything else to go over? And then let me see now. I'll go ahead and refresh this and see if I can get it now. I just cleared my cache. Let's see here. Sometimes it's just that I'm going to have to, you know what, I'm just going to bring up incognito. That ought to do it. Then I've got the GoToWebinar right there. This ought to bring it up. So there we go. So with like this, guys, here we go. What I'm going to show you what this can do is it's actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can get signed in. I'd have to enter it in. It was going to be on the other one. So with Site Explorer, guys, something that I use quite a bit is, let's just say that, let me just go to Google here and just look up Orlando lawyer. And let's just pull one up here, an actual person here. Wow, there's no, looks like I need to get on the ball here and hire some people. All those people there, it's just a bunch of idle domain authority sites. So let's just search these people right here. Are you kidding me? They're going to make me log in? Yeah, guys, let's just come back to this because I like got to log in. They're not letting me do anything unless I get logged in. And I can log in on the other one, but I'll have to put my password in and it wouldn't be good. So we'll just come back to it a little bit later. See what else we can go through is, I know what we were going to go through is, Derek, we were going to go through link research tools. Are you ready for that one?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to make you the presenter, and then I'm going to try to get this fixed so we can go over it.
Oh, okay. So this is my way. Can you see my screen right now?
I can now, yes.
Anyone?
Yeah, I can see Derek.
Okay. All right. So Link Research Tools has quite a lot of bucket of cool things that have. I usually mostly use it for doing detoxes, and so I really usually only have the smallest plan because this tool is it's probably the most expensive one. It goes up to over $500 a month if you have like the agency plan or whatever it was. A lot of times I do use this for quick backlinks, and what I do like about that is you can actually, it has a lot more filtering abilities than either Majestic or Ahrefs, especially Moz, and you can actually extract just your no-follow links, and what you can do is, all you do is just kind of do a quick backlink. For example, I'll do that sample site I was doing there, and this is going to give you, you can just do page or domain. You can even restrict the sources if you want. Usually it's just going to show you the strongest 6,000 links, but for speed. And what this tool actually does is use pretty much every other aggregator out there. So it is using the information from Majestic. It is using information from Ahrefs and from Moz. So a lot of times if people are blocking in any of those, usually Link Research Tools is going to find those links. And what it does do, it does give you a little bit of a similar score to as in power and trust as in Majestic does, where this is kind of your citation flow, and the trust is your trust flow. But instead, it's not on a scale of 1 to 100, it's only on a scale of 1 to 10. But it actually gives you a little bit better of a ratio, because then you can actually have, this is the total score, so 5 times 4 is 20. So that's going to give you a little bit of more information. And if you have to go off a single metric of anything, this is probably the best one to go off of, because it's going to it's not going to say it's just power, it's not just trust, right? So you're going to have both. This is almost like domain authority with trust and power at the same time, So it does take a little while because it has to run through has to run through all the aggregators, and it actually does live checks to make sure that things are still alive. But some of the cool things is you can do in here is you can actually just filter out by pure anchor text right here. You can see the countries, the power and trust, so you can even filter out just like which ones are the weak ones. So if you did from 0 to 1 from here, you can actually see that all of these ones here have lots of power and they're lacking on the trust. So it's something you might want to start looking at. And you can also, I don't think you can do it on the quick one, but on the detox one, you can actually filter out just by no follows, and you can do different slices like that. And it's really good for finding IPs of the referring domains. You can see the Google Analytic code on other people's sites. So if you see people using the same analytics code or AdSense code, the DNS servers, the IPs, the registration information, all that's in Link Research tool. So it is the only really go-to tool for doing detoxes. And we just use this one for doing quick summaries, but it does find a little bit more links than any other tool because it has every single aggregator out there. I think there's something like 17 or 20 different aggregators in here. So what else in here? We got in reference detox. Yeah, you can use that for detox. I usually mostly use it for clients. Sometimes I'll put my whole PBN network in there, and I'll in batches just to see what kind of health they're doing right now. But some of the cool things they do have is the link alerts. So this is the one we talked with Jimmy a few weeks ago, where if you ever want to see someone doing negative SEO on your site, you can just use one of these link alerts and put it on your site, and every time there's a new link built to your site, you're going to get an alert. And so these ones you can actually buy separate because it only gives you one at a time in the lower account, but you can buy more and more if you want. Same thing with pretty much any of these tools, but I usually end up using more of these link detoxes. The boost we don't really ever need to use. We just use any indexer. So sometimes the cool thing is you can find strongest subpage tools, and where is the other one? The juice tool. These are two really good ones. So if you ever try to you put a PBN in here, and you can actually see what your strongest pages are, and those are the ones you can recreate on your PBN. And then those are the ones you can actually start sending links from, or you can 301 those to the homepage and leave the rest as 404s or 410s. And from there, you can also do some old school link prospecting like contact finders, which I've never used this, or I barely ever use the SERP research tool, but common backlinks tool, I do use this once in a while. You can put your top 10 competitors and in here for the same keyword you are, and you can find common backlinks. So if they have common backlinks, what's the likelihood of you being able to get the same links? So it gives you some new opportunities to find some properties you can drop a link on. And from here, that's about it. Like the quick domain compare, this is similar to like the Moz one, where you can compare the top results, and this will give you an overall comparison score of the top pages. So like you can actually just go in here and just go here, and then even find the competing pages for you. Like, well, I can't remember, guitar lessons. And usually it takes a little while sometimes, but. And so you can actually do this. It's kind of a cool tool, and you can use this to show your clients exactly the power and trust of all these domains and the first 5 results. Compare them to yourself. So these guys are not bad for here because I mean YouTube's going to dominate everyone, and their trust is pretty good compared to these guys, and they're on par with these guys. So even has the old school PageRank and everything like that. So it's a pretty cool tool. It's one I use pretty much every day. If I had only one choice, I would use Majestic over this. But if you're doing detoxes, you definitely need to get big research.
Yeah, overshare, but still. We guys, if you're new, or even if you're not doing 20, 30K a month, I don't even want you purchasing this. You don't need to. I got up to $250,000 a month without ever using this thing, and it's nothing that you really need. So I don't want you to, it's very expensive. It's worth it if you're doing a lot of stuff like Derek and I are doing, but if not, I don't want you to think that we're forcing you or telling you that you got to go out and buy all these things. So Derek does a lot of client stuff and does a lot of other advanced stuff, and that's what it helps us with. So it's one of those things to where it's an amazing thing, and we're putting it on our list, but don't think that you've got to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on all of this sort of stuff. We're letting you know. So down the road, when you might need something, you know what to access and go to. Derek gave a wonderful lesson right there. So what I'm going to jump right into right now is because we just talked about that, I'm going to share this one right here. And this is one of them that even Stephen and I discussed whether we even wanted to show it or not. Guys, almost everyone is blocking links everywhere. This is one of them that a lot of people with Spider Spank and other people are ignoring to actually block. And if you do this, you can pretty much get a lot of people's backlinks with this right here. So, for instance, if we were to go ahead and just put in, you know what, let me just go over here and I'm going to do some competitors. Let's just go to St. Louis SEO and let's just pull a guy up from in here. Let's just pull this guy up right here and let's put him in there. And this guy claims to be a guru. He sends out a lot of emails. He's a guru, but he can't seem to take this guy or this guy right there. So we'll just find out what's up. So we'll go here and we'll analyze what he's doing. And this is free, guys. This is the best part about it. This is absolutely free. And you can look, we're getting all of his backlinks right here. This is another free tool that you can use. But what I like about it is just as Derek was talking about, it has something that I like for free. Link alerts. Guys, if you go in here and if you go ahead and come here and you enter in the website address, not only that, but I can track competitors anytime they build a link. Guys, tell me that wouldn't be valuable for free. If you want to know every time your competitor, the guy in the number 2 position and you're number 1, if he builds a link, would you want to know that? Give me a 1 if you'd want to know. Give me a 1 if you'd want to know. There you go. Well, guys, this can do it for free. It'll give you email notifications for free. So this right here, play around with it. It's called Open Link Profiler. Absolutely free. You're going to find exposed a lot of stuff that other people in. I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat box because it is free. It's one of those things that I think that a lot of you guys are going to enjoy and get a lot out of. Let's take a little break right here before we move forward. Let's go over to the Facebook group, guys. If you're enjoying this and if you're getting value out of this, give me a hashtag value. I want to be able to see that you guys are getting this, that you're getting the value out of this, that there's value. And guys, please, we are doing right here where the picture is. If I could get back to there now. We're like doing where the picture's at. If you're getting some value, give me some hashtag value. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to go over a few small little gems. And then, guys, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go over a software that's literally going to blow your mind, that you've never seen before, that is going to be a game changer for you. Now, I didn't want to hype it up before the webinar, but I'm telling you, all of you that are on here now, in about 20 minutes, are going to be rewarded greatly for being here with the software that I promise you is going to change it all for you. And you are going to love it. So what we're going to do is, guys, if you're enjoying this, if you're getting value out of it, just give us a hashtag value. There's almost 500 people on. Let's get it going. As you can see, my Facebook is locked up from all the people posting, which is a good sign that everyone's participating. So a couple other things that I like to do is, and just a little things is guys, if you would like to know, there's Ronell can't get into OMG Live, and he's sending me a message. Guys, come on, Ronell, on a webinar. So one of these things, Derek, will you message Ronell and tell him I'm live on a webinar and his messages are coming through?
I just told him.
Good. And one of the things that I've used ever since I did is, how many of you guys have ever heard of algorithm? Give me a 1 if you've heard of it before. A 2 if you've never heard of it before. No one's ever heard of it before. Guys, let this be your best friend. It's kind of like Mozcast. Believe it or not, this was around before Mozcast, where it kind of told you what stuff was going on. I've kind of used it, guys. What it does is it tells you the algorithm fluctuation of keywords going up and down. So if you can look here, something happened on June 18th. Look at the fluctuation of keywords that happened across Google. As there is a stock market watch, there is a search engine watch of keyword fluctuation. And as you can see, I look at it daily to find out movements of things, to see if anything happens. Generally, and if you'll look at right here, guys, here's a list of every algorithm that they can find that's hit, that they can document going out. And if you'll look, you can even come here and look at this. The activity is low. You can put this on a website or on a blog. I like kind of look into it every day just to see where things are at. You can drag things over. You can look and just click and see what was going on. And, you know, so if you want to know if an algorithm's happen or if they're rolling something out, obviously, if you can see here, they call this a newsworthy update. Anything in yellow or green, and you can back through the course of time and you can look. Like, let's just stretch this out. And you can see, look at this. We can see a mystery update happened. Look at that. It was a 2.9. This was a 2.65. So this one was the biggest one that's hit in a while. Then we can scan back through here and even move this back through time. And we can look and see what happened. And if you look at this one right here, look at that. There's a 3.7. So you can go back through time and kind of look how things happen and kind of see how things going for the day. Just something easy I've always done. It's free. It's what I've always used. So, guys, if that's something that you think you can get a benefit from, give me a number 8. I'll go ahead and I'll put this in here. Trying to give you guys some free things that you can look at. I'll send it to all of you. And, guys, this is just some things here that, you know, if you want to know, man, did an update happen? Pretty much, guys, this is going to tell you if an update happened based upon keywords fluctuating back and forth. So this is something that you can look at daily. Or Mozcast is the same thing. Moz does that also. You can look at that also to kind of tell what's going on with the fluctuations of everything. So another one, guys. So hopefully you've got some benefit out of that. We're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be, obviously, guys, the Wayback Machine. You guys got to have this in your tool. For those of you that are brand new, I'm going to explain it very quickly. I'm not going to spend but a couple minutes on it. Guys, if you're buying a PBN and you want to know what it was before you bought it, even from back from the very beginning, you put it in here and you can actually see what it was. So you can go back and look at it. You can find out if it was a porn site, if it was anything else. I think you'd want to know that, whether it was a Chinese site. This is a thing that you need to have in your arsenal. So before you actually kick the tires and buy any PBN over $150, $200, I think it's kind of silly not to put it in the Wayback Machine. Wouldn't you think so, Stephen? If he's still with me.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. You want to know. I do this on all of them, even if there's nothing that looks suspicious, because you'd be surprised sometimes that you have a great domain that's something like, give blood, something like, sounds like a good charity or something, and then you look at it and you notice for 2 years it was doing Louis Vuitton handbags, and it was just one little stretch, and it can completely wreck the value of it. Mm-hmm. This is an absolute lifesaver. The first time I saw this site, it blew my mind. Couldn't even believe it was there.
Right. So guys, all of you, give me a number 2 if this is the first time that you've heard of the Wayback Machine. I mean, just be honest. There's nothing wrong with admitting it. Just us 4 can see it. So, well, there's a few people. So good. Glad we're able to show it. This is something that you can definitely use. It's like going in a time machine and looking to see what the website was over the course of time. So this is one of them that I definitely put on there. Another tool that I always use also, as I'm going through some free ones very quickly, is Google Trends. Google Trends. Guys, it's, if you want to look for things or you want to look for something viral, I like to use this for a lot of stuff right now that I'm doing. Right now, I'm working very hard, driving traffic through with like Instagram very successfully. I want to know what's trending so I can actually do pictures and talk about those particular things. This kind of tells you what's up to date also. This can also be used for a lot of different things, for affiliate, for different stuff. Just trust me. Keep it tabbed, Google Trends. Look into it, use it. The other thing that we're going to move on to very, very, very quickly is, guys, if you've never used Sidekick before, and how many of you people have heard of Sidekick? Give me a number 3. Give me a 3. If you've never heard of Sidekick, give me a 4. Guys, for those of you that are putting in 4, and just be honest, guys, this is going to change how you look at emails forever. Guys, it's a free extension that you can put in. And it tells you when someone has read your emails. Like, you won't believe it comes across. Like, I'll send a message to Mike, and just like you seen that Skype or that alert that just came across on my MacBook, I'll know, the moment that Mike opened up that email, or I'm sending it out to a client. Guys, you'd be shocked how many times people open up emails. It's crazy. Sorry, I had to get a drink. My throat was getting dry. So guys, this is very, very, very valuable. If you're sending out emails to clients and you want to know that they've opened them and you think that's important, you send out a proposal or anything else, give me just a 1. Sorry, I had to cough. My throat's getting all scratchy. Great. Guys, definitely go to Sidekick. It's called getsidekick.com. I'll go ahead and put that on there. It's free. Get this on your emails. You need to know when proposals are being read. Wouldn't it be great that if you sent that proposal, you seen the client opened it up, and then you watched them open that proposal 6 times over the next day? Wouldn't you like to know that? I mean, give me a 6 if you'd like to know that. I mean, I think that's valuable information. Exactly. This is something that all of you guys need to get loaded up immediately. It's called Sidekick. It's in conjunction with your Gmail. So another thing that we'll go over real quick, guys, if you ever just want to look to see for free, social stuff, excuse me, is we can go here to enter in anything. And let me just put mine in here very quickly. What's the internet URL? Hold on. Whoops. Typing and looking down. Guys, this right here tells you right here on this page how many social shares you got. It tracks your shares, likes, tweets. As you can see, I've got 3,000 Facebook likes, 71 shares, 1 comment, 3,064. I've got 4,700 tweets. I've got 81 Google Pluses, no Pinterest, 820 LinkedIn, all from my main page. So this will tell you with that. I'll go ahead and I'll put this URL down here as well. This is free. If you ever want to go in and just check your social shares very quickly. I know a lot of you guys like to do stuff like that. And what we also want to do is I'm moving through these very, very, very quickly. I gave those guys some of the bigger ones. Now I'm going to move through them very, very quickly so we can get to one that I really, really am excited to tell you about. So the next one, guys, let me see what I've got up here. Guys, I'm not going to go over this very much. I had to put it into the top 15, which is GSA. There's a lot of things that you can do for it. It has to be in the top things.
Yeah.
But guys, if you're new, don't worry about this. I just had to put it in there just because it needed to be in there. And, we're going to move forward. Secondly, guys, we're going to talk about some rankers. Everyone needs to track their rankings for their clients and for their own personal stuff. Guys, I want to be honest with you. I think all rank trackers suck. There's not one that's really perfect. And any one you choose, you're probably going to be fine with. There's some that are a disaster, and there's some that are pretty good. I use Pro Rank Tracker, CertBook. I know that some people use Greg used Microsite Masters because he's too lazy to move it all over. He likes it. Gregory, what do you use?
I use SERP Suite.
SERP Suite. Stephen Floyd, what do you use?
I use Source Hunter Gregory Ortiz.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I will be sure and cut this audio out and send it to Becker later, Gregory. So, Becker's.
I use SERP Suite.
Oh, okay. Derek, which one do you use?
I use Microsite Masters.
Right.
But I think I like ProTracker a little bit
better. Yeah. And like I said, guys, I don't want you to overthink this. OMG Command Center also has this built in where you can track it as well. So I just had to throw one of them in there because I go, wait a minute, you guys didn't go over rank trackers. So, to each their own. They're not going to be perfect. And, to me, I want these things live. I want to click a button and they refresh and all this stuff happen. It just doesn't work that way. Maybe someone will build like that that's live. So it just constantly refreshes every 5 seconds. So we know, but you know, what like can you do? The next thing is we're going to move right along is what best place can you buy your PBNs from? You guys always ask that. Where can I buy some good PBNs from? I'm only going to give you 2. That's it. Only 2 that I'll recommend. The first one, Gregory, go ahead and post your PBN service in the box with Gregory Ortiz himself.
Sure.
And the second one is obviously Juicy Domains. And guys, Juicy Domains, I've been playing around with it for the last week. I love it. Guys, I'm just telling you, for like those of you that are using, God, I even forgot the name of it. What is it called? It's just like this, Derek, but you guys did it better.
Register compass.
There you go. I mean, I've been using this and already forgot what the service was. Guys, Juicy Domain is a better built register compass. And, you know, if you're looking for particular things, you can put in trust flow, you know, 25, citation flow, you know, whatever your thing is. You can put your minimum DA, 12, you know that, and you can do a search, and boom, it's going to load everything down here that's an auction. What am I missing, Derek? What else can this do? I mean, I've been having a lot of fun messing around with it.
Yeah, well, NameJet's under maintenance right now, but
right.
What a lot of people do come for is the juicy picks because
here we go.
Yeah, those are scraped domains, and
right.
And so those ones are hidden because there's affiliates that are brokering them. So like even like Gregory Ortiz uploads some of his PBNs in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and so that they need to have their commission, and we don't want people to be able to just kind of take the domain and register it themselves because these are ones that are open to register, and so you're paying for the reveal price. And the way we had to do that is you have to do it through a research lab, and you can still see the links and the anchors and stuff like that. And then you can just, for Wayback Machine, you just send it in a support ticket with all the potential ones you really like, and we'll actually do all those checks for you. And so I'm actually physically looking at these myself or Todd Spears, and we'll recommend whether or not you should get them. And we also give not just every other tool pretty much just gives one version of trust flow and citation flow. And so we're giving the primary, which means it's the highest of the root, subdomain, or the URL. So it gives you some more variations to look at. And we do have historical trust flow, but we are tooling it right now. So it's all still beta, and that's why it is still only open to OMG members right now. And so there's going to be a lot of changes going on, but we're trying to make it faster and better for everyone else, and trying to beat Dome Cop and make sure that we're ahead of Register Compass for everything, so you don't have to have multiple tools, because those ones, they're only good for auctions, right? So none of them are scraping, and scraping is very valuable, and I'm sure Gregory Ortiz can tell you why scraping is pretty darn valuable for compared to just picking up expired domains.
Oh yeah.
So
great. And so guys, 2 of them we recommend to get your PBNs from: Gregory Service, Juicy Domain. You have the link to them. Guys, if you need more information, contact Derek. Now, I had to throw one of them in here because I thought about it. In case you need an indexer, I use Indexification. There's other indexers out there. I'm sure they're good. I've had a lot of good work with them. You can also do that in Command Center. So, guys, this is just one of them that I use. Steven, who do you use?
I use GSA.
Okay, great. Gregory?
Yeah, for rank tracking, I usually use Instant Link Indexer, but I've also used Indexification as well.
Yeah. This is just some of these here that we just wanted to go over quickly. So what we did is, guys, is we've went over a lot of tools that can obviously help you. And if you guys want to know why would you want to use an indexer, I'm going to go through that very, very quickly in 30 seconds, guys. Because you want to make sure that Google crawls your 2.0s. Sometimes they can be a little difficult, or if you put a link up somewhere, or if you disavowed something, you want them to crawl it again, they can find it with that link going in there, or with a social signal or anything else. That'll get it to crawl it again a little bit faster than what it normally would if it found it on its own. Does that kind of make sense? Give me a number 5 if that makes sense. Want to make sure
There's no point in building links if Google can't ever find them.
Right. So we wanted to go over that very, very, very quickly. Now, what I wanted to go over with, guys, is that I'm going to go over the very last recommendation that we're going to give you for software. And basically what it is, guys, is I want to see right here, I'm going to ask for a lot of participation over the next 5 minutes because I really want you to follow me on this. I want you to go to the Facebook group right now. And what I want you to do is if you basically use PBNs to rank, I want you to give me a hashtag PBN. I mean, guys, there is almost 500 people on here. I'd really like to see everyone that has a PBN, that are using PBNs to rank. I would like to be able to see it in the Facebook group. Now, we've talked about this on the August 13th infamous webinar, which the 10 ways that you're not making $30K a month. And guys, we should have everyone here, everyone putting hashtag PBN. Now, for those of you that are new, and for those of you that are veterans, PBNs can be very hard to come by, especially now. And what I want you to do is, guys, if you're having a harder time trying to find a lot of PBNs to rank the way you want to because of a financial restraint or just because of lack of time or you're just not sure about the power, but something's holding you back, but you know you need double the PBNs, give me a hashtag double. Hashtag double. Now follow me on this because what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow your mind here in a second. So what I want to do is I want to see everyone out here that give me a hashtag double. We're not, come on guys, we need to get everyone doing this here. Everyone doing it. There we go. Hashtag double. Well, guys, what if I told you that I found a way to double your PBNs for under $70? Would you be excited? What if I told you that if you had 15 PBNs, I could give you access to double that, perhaps triple that? Would you be excited? Would you be interested? Just think about that. What would you do with double, triple the power? I mean, guys, if I have a way, now you've seen some of the prices of these PBNs. They can be $45, they can be $250, they can be $300. Guys, what if I told you that for $69 that I could give you another 50 PBNs that you can use to rank your sites with? Would you buy that? Give me a hashtag mind blown if you would be willing to spend $69 to get an additional 50 PBNs to your arsenal, maybe even as much as 100 for just $69. And guys, here's the other little secret to this. What if I told you that these PBNs were already set up for you? What if I told you that they already had hosting to them? What if I told you that all you had to do is request that you wanted a link from it for $69? And they're the same or similar or stronger metrics than the current PBNs you have right now. Would you be interested in how you could do that? Guys, this is literally going to change everything. This is going to change how you new people are able to rank. If you have 5 PBNs and I give you another 20, is that not going to change everything for you? For just $69? Guys, it's going to change everything. Everything. I mean, if you've got 30 PBNs and I can give you 100, is that not going to change everything for you? You know, guys, I want you to give me hashtag game changer, because that is what I'm going to show you right now. And it is going to be something that is exclusive to OMG. Exclusive. And you guys should be absolutely excited about it. Steven, let me ask you a question. Is it even possible that, wouldn't you get excited if you were in your first 6 months and we could double your PBN network for $69?
Man, I don't even know how to answer that. That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And when I first seen this, I just couldn't believe it. But not that. What's even crazier about it is, that's just one thing that what this piece of software does. One thing. And, you know, if I first started out, I can't even begin to tell you that if I had 50 PBNs and if I instantly had 100, I just wouldn't know what to do. And the more PBNs I got, the more PBNs I could get. Then I could double and triple them and quadruple them. It would, I don't even know where I would be at this point. So it's things like this. Guys, what I want to tell you is what I'm getting ready to show you is from the mind of an OMGer. He developed this on his own. And I've had an opportunity to test it. I've had an opportunity to see it in action. And guys, Gregory Ortiz is the one that came up with this. And it's literally going to alter OMG forever. Now, I didn't want to say this before the webinar started because I didn't want to hype it up. But you're lucky that you're on this webinar right now, because this is going to be exclusive to OMG. Gregory, what I want you to do is I'm going to give you control of the screen, and I want to show everyone exactly what we're talking about. And Gregory, I want you to go strictly, and I want you to talk about what I just been talking about for 5 minutes first.
Okay. Sure. So pretty much what client is speaking about, just like he said, it's one aspect of the software, but it's one of my favorite. And it's under Network Manager. Under Member Networks. And what this is it's a way for you to be able to do many different things. You're able to join networks that may be specific niches. So let's say, for example, if you were if you had real estate clients, you could join an entire network that's based solely around real estate PBNs. You could have some that are general. You can have them around anything that you can think of. And all you need to do in order to enter and join this specific group, if it's public, is enter the amount of blogs to enter. Now, there's certain metrics that need to be met, and that's set by the owner. So there may be some that might have a lower trust flow than others to join, but pretty much just imagine it this way. And I actually got this phrase from Stephen Floyd, so thank you for that, Stephen. But just imagine if Google came in and Google was able to find a network or find two networks, right? What happens is they'll kill a site or two, but then it grows 3 more heads just like a hydra. And the reason why that works is because every single person that is entering their sites into this network, if you think about it, they're all actual different people, different hosts, different IPs, different name servers. They're not from fake name generator. They're all legitimately different people. We're all different people that are on this webinar right now. So if everyone submitted to, let's say, a network, every single site in there is different. There is no way for Google to tie them together. Now, of course, we take a bunch of precautions to make sure that people can't abuse the network. Like, you can't post to 1 million networks in one day. There's a lot of precautions for it. But this is essentially how you'll be able to go from having, just like Cotton said, maybe 5 sites to having 50, 500, access to all of them. And you can even have them tailored to specific niches if that niche for that network exists. And if it doesn't, you can start your own.
Gregory, let me just take over for 1 second. Guys, I want to break this down to you simply. How would you like to trade PBNs with everyone in OMG? That if you had 3 PBNs, now you get to trade and get 10 more PBNs that you can post from fellow OMGers? Would you be down for that? Give me a hashtag trade. Give me a hashtag trade. Think about it. If all of us traded amongst ourselves with all the PBNs that we had, how much money would that save you? Give me hashtag trade if that doesn't get you excited. Now, yeah, there's some stipulations. You can go in and create your own group and say, hey, look, I've got 10 PBNs right here. Here's how many you need to enter my group. Here's the minimum trust flow you need to have. Here's the minimum DA. And here's how much you can post. But guys, I want you to think about this. This is the power of OMG, the power of a city on a hill coming together and trading. I want you to imagine we have almost 3,000 members. You don't want to know how many PBNs that is? Even if everyone's got 100, that's almost 30,000 PBNs. Let's just say that there's only 15,000 PBNs. What if we all put our network in here and shared? Tell me what could happen. Tell me what could happen. Guys, if this doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what could. Guys, to get access to my PBNs, wouldn't you want to get access to trade with me? You know that Fletch has PBNs. He has like 15, 20 PBNs, DA 70 plus. Guys, it's crazy. But not only that, it's not just going to be open. This particular thing is called OMG Crusader. But it's not just going to be open to OMG. Gregory's going to open this up to everyone, where it's going to become the largest, one of the largest trading of PBNs ever. And you're going to get access to this power instantly by just knowing how to set up a few PBNs. Guys, literally, if you are sold on just this feature alone, give me hashtag sold. I want to see who's really down with this, who's really smart. For $69, that's what it costs. Give me hashtag sold if you're ready to buy this, because that is exactly what, guys, you're going to double your network. It's insane. And that's what I'm talking about. Now that you know exactly what this feature is, this is one feature of this where you're going to be able to trade your PBNs with everyone. You put in 10, you might have access to 50. Depends on the rules of the group. You can create your own groups. Now, Gregory, what I want you to do is let's stop talking about trading PBNs. Everyone's already sold. I want you to go and show them why this is even more valuable than just that. I want you to go back from the very beginning and show them what this can do for PBNs, because this, in my opinion, is going to even revolutionize how we handle PBNs. So start from the beginning, as you showed me a few weeks ago, and run through the whole thing.
Sure. So pretty much this whole entire program, by the way, everyone, was conceived primarily because, as many of you know, I have a huge network, so it becomes a pain in the butt to manage it all. And that's how it manifested to something that I wanted to share with everyone at OMG first, to be able to do the same thing. And many of the things in here also follow the exact teachings within OMG, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So before I even get into it posting to PBNs, because that was the original feature that it first had, I just want to talk really quickly about safety. And like I said, it'll take me literally a minute just to speak about it. One of the biggest things and the biggest concerns that everyone has, and I know that they will have once they hear they can post to other people's networks, is going to be their IP. Like my IP logging into someone else's network. Well, in OMG Crusader, you don't have to worry about that at all. And the reason why I say you don't is because it's posting from the software. And the software actually connects through something that's called XML RPC. Now, I'm not a nerd that knows exactly what XML RPC is, but I found someone who actually explained it to me. And pretty much what it is it connects directly to the site simply through a clean line of code that is on the site. What that means is Google cannot go inside of it, crawlers cannot go inside of it, nothing can exist. It's a direct connection to the site, no IP addresses ever left. So just think about that for a second. Google will never know that anyone was in, or they'll know something got posted, but they'll never know who it was that posted it. So it could have been the owner for all they know, right? So pretty much, if you go under getting set up, there is a one-click hosting setup. Now, there's a couple of hosts that we've integrated that you can actually just host directly in OMG Crusader to begin with. But if you have your own host, that's perfectly fine. You can use them as well. I use a lot of my own. There's WordPress installation, which is one of my favorite features, right? So pretty much what you'll do is you'll put in your site URL and your cPanel username and password. You put what you want the site name to be, your admin email, your author email. Now you no longer need to go into your WordPress site to find a theme, click on activate, and then do the same thing for every single plugin. Now this list of plugins is going to continuously grow. Same thing with the themes. You can either have it choose random or you can choose a theme. For example, if I chose one, it'll grow a little bit bigger so I can get a preview on what it looks like. And once again, if you choose these plugins, it's not only going to install it for you, it's also going to activate the plugin for you, and especially one of my new favorites, which is right here, disable Google Fonts. Now, a lot of people have been speaking about it recently. Once you log into a WordPress site, Google Fonts is installed, and it already knows your IP. So you can install WordPress with OMG Crusader, have this plugin activated without any IP ever touching your site, and Google Fonts is now gone. So now you're perfectly fine, safe, and secure to go into your WordPress site manually if you ever needed to. You don't need to worry about Big Google in that specific instance, okay? Also, you can have comments not allowed. You can set it up with the www or without. And this is one of the core features. Everything is about networks here. So let's say you had a client that was Dr. Smith. You can create a network called Dr. Smith, and this WordPress site that you're installing is going to go into the Dr. Smith network. So after your WordPress site installs, it takes about anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes. You get a nice little notification telling you it was successful and it was installed. Once that happens, it actually falls under My Sites. Now, before I get there, in case you don't want to manually install WordPress and you already have them installed, you can go to Add a Site. And the cool thing is, it's not just WordPress. We also do Joomla and Tumblr, because everyone should be diversifying all of their PBNs. It shouldn't be all just WordPress. I know you can do all just WordPress, but at a certain point you might want to mix it up. So you can do Joomla and you can do Tumblrs as well. So let's imagine we had our own WordPress site. We wanted to install it. If you're someone like most of us that may be on this specific webinar that have sites already, instead of putting them all one by one, you can actually use the bulk upload feature. So you can have all your sites literally instantly uploaded all in one shot. You don't have to go in and manually put them all one by one like you do with a lot of other network managers. Now, one important feature to mention about this specific network manager that sets it apart from other ones besides these other features is the fact that there is no child plugin. Now, if you guys don't know what a child plugin is, can you just give me a 2 in the chat box? Not on Facebook, just in the chat box. I want to know if you don't know what a child plugin is. Can you put a 2? Okay, perfect. I see a whole lot of 2s. So pretty much a child plugin is something that other managers such as MainWP and a whole bunch of other ones out there that exist, what they do is they require you to install one of their plugins on your WordPress site so that way it can communicate. Now the problem with that is it is a footprint. Google can crawl your site and find this plugin, and then they'll be able to tie them all together. There was actually someone about a year ago who lost most of their sites when they were using MainWP because of this child plugin. They owned a really, really big network. With OMG Crusader, there is no child plugin. Like I said before, it communicates directly through XML RPC. There is no plugin. Yes.
Can you? I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's some people in the chat box. Is everybody still able to hear Gregory? Okay.
Right. You know what? While we're waiting on that, Gregory, I want to make sure that everyone really got what you said in the very beginning. Guys, what he's basically developed is you enter in your cPanel and a password. Can we go back to getting set up, Gregory? I want to make sure that everyone gets this. Guys, this right here is going to install every plugin that you check. It's going to do everything for you with a click of a button. Now, give me a number 1 if you understand that, how much time that can save you. Give me a 1. Give me a 1. Guys, this is going to be a game changer. Not only that, what if you can now post to any of these PBNs right from here, and it's 100% safe. There's no footprints anywhere. And all you had to do is log into this. Tell me that that isn't going to change how you manage PBNs. Guys, who wants to sit there and install all these freaking plugins? This plugin, that plugin, this plugin, wait, done, it's this and that. Click off all these things and hit a button and sit back and be more efficient with your time. Guys, to pick a random theme right here, hit it and move. Guys, this is, I'm just telling you, I don't think you can understand. And if you don't get it, it's a game changer. Now, guys, if you're excited about just this, I mean, give me a hashtag excited. This has nothing to do with trading PBNs, but if you're excited just about the ease that this is going to make you setting up your PBNs and setting up websites, give me hashtag excited. Give me hashtag excited, because that's what this is going to do. what we wanted to do, guys, is we wanted to get all of the tedious work out of your hands. We wanted to get all of you new people that just didn't get it to make it as easy as possible. You put your cPanel username in, your password, you put your site's name, you put your admin's name in there, and you just hit buttons and run. I mean, how much easier can it get? It's crazy. And I want to make sure that you understand exactly what he's talking about. So, guys, I've in the chat box, in the GoToWebinar chat box, if you get it, I want you to give me an 8 and we'll move forward. I want everyone to understand how game-changing this is. There's been several people tried to replicate this. No one has been ever able to do it without creating a footprint that could get you in trouble. It's happened. It's happened. You can manage all of your PBNs from here. All of them. So, Gregory, please continue. I just wanted to slow it down to make sure that everyone got it. Everyone seems to be excited about it. Tell us what more this can do.
Sure. Yeah, and sorry, Cotton. I know I was going a little fast because I'm really excited about this tool myself because I use it every day now. So pretty much, yeah, just like Cotton said, you'll be able to, and I did see a couple of people ask the same question, is this just for PBNs? The answer is no. That's why it says network everywhere, network manager. It doesn't say private blog network manager. You can use it for money sites. You can use this for PBNs. You can use it for anything. Any website you have, doesn't matter. Most people will use it for PBNs, but you could definitely use it for money sites. So after you add your site, right, one of the other things that I love is the My Sites feature. It'll tell you all of your stats depending on your membership level, or, and this is the kicker, as we spoke before about OMG Command Center, I actually partnered with Colin from OMG Command Center to program and code all of this stuff with his team. So it's a partnership between Colin and myself. So if you do have OMG Command Center, you can actually put in your SERPed API, and most of these stats will pull in for you also automatically. So you don't need to have a Majestic account if you might have a lower level package. You can just put in your OMG Command Center credentials, and you're able to get it as well. So as you can see, this is one of the most important features for me anyway, is index. Now I purposely put in a bunch of de-index sites to test it. But as everyone knows, a lot of people have been losing sites recently. So how would you like to know once your site is de-indexed? Instead of having to always go to Google and type in site : whatever your site is. Now imagine you have 30 sites, 50 sites. Are you going to do this for every single site multiple times throughout the week? Of course not. This does it for you automatically. It'll tell you if your site is indexed. It'll tell you what platform it's on. It'll tell you your IP, your DA, your PA, your trust flow, your citation flow, and all these amazing stats. Another cool feature is right here, this little one. Notes. You can even put a note for a specific site just to remind you about something. Like let's say you need to remember something about that specific site, you can save a note. Also, if you hover over the site, you can actually see what the front page looks like. So if I hover over it, I can see what the page looks like in case I forget. I don't need to visit all of my sites to make sure I'm posting to the right one. I can just hover over the thumbnail. And if you click on SEO report, it's very similar to those reports that you have your potential clients, I should say, fill out to make sure that the on page is correct and etc. Because as we all know from our OMG training, we want our PBNs to be as quote unquote real as possible. Therefore, your on page SEO and all those statistics should be up to par, and you could check that right here with a simple click. And in case you need more detailed metrics, all you got to do is just click on site metrics, and you'll actually see all of your site's metrics pull up here. Okay. Now if I go back for a second, oops, I shouldn't have pressed back, I apologize. There we go. Now if I go over here, you'll also be able to manage your networks as far as what sites are in what networks. Another feature that I definitely wanted to have was sites that could go into more than one network. Most of the other network managers out there restrained you to have a site go simply into just one network. So let's imagine I have a PBN that's made for health, but I happen to have 5 health clients. I can have that in 5 different networks that are underneath their name, as opposed to just keeping it under one. So it kind of gives you that flexibility as well. Okay? Any questions yet, Cotton, before I run to the next part?
No.
Okay, cool.
One of the things that I just wanted to address is guys, please don't ask who this is be approved by. It's really a disrespect to us. Assimilation webinar. We've never had a guest on here that doesn't make under $30K a month. I don't recommend anything, and you must not know my reputation. I don't recommend anything unless I know it works. So don't ask me who approved it. I did. So it works. This thing is solid, and that's all you need to know. So I just wanted to take care of that with like people saying, well, is this approved by someone? It's approved by me. So let's just get that going. So with anything else, I've had some people say you don't understand how you trade PBNs. Well, it's pretty simple. You create a group yourself, and if you've got, let's say that you have a medical PBN, and if you wanted other medical PBNs because you wanted more medical PBNs, but you don't want to buy them, then you would share yours with someone else. Guys, you share it. Just imagine if I say, hey, Steven, I've got 5 PBNs all over DA60, all trust flow over 45. Super sweet. You want to give me 4 back? So now I've doubled my network. So for those of you that don't understand, I see a lot of questions not understanding that. That is it. So guys, it's that simple. You trade. Hey there, Jim. I've got a PBN here with 30 and you got a 30 DA. You want to trade links? I give you a link. You give me a link for something else. It doubles your network, and it's on a different network and it's by different people. So what it is it's going to be safer than if you did it yourself. So, and then I've had other people go, well, what if they put an infected PBN in there? What if I get hit by lightning tomorrow? What if I drive to the grocery store and die? I mean, guys, don't worry about problems that you don't have. This is such an amazing thing. I'm blown away that you guys are sitting there thinking negatively already. Well, what if? What if? Well, what if? Guys, and there's always going to be a bunch of bad apples no matter where you go. So, guys, it's solid. So any other questions before we move forward? Great. Gregory, please continue. You got one that says, how many PBNs would you have to join? That depends on the group that's created.
Yeah, it depends on the group. As you can see here, this one says you need 1, this one says you need 2, this one says you need 3. It all depends on the creator. And I just want to address that really quickly, Cotton, just as you said, people asking about what ifs. I did a whole lot of what ifs before this was even coded, so I can guarantee you that almost every single what if scenario you have has already been thought of and covered. So if you have that question later on down the line, of course, let me know. But I can guarantee you almost all of it's been covered already.
Hey, Gregory.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't mind, and guys, I know there's a lot of new members on here, but for those of you who've been around for a while, I teach a whole course just on PBNs, okay, and I'm kind of known for that. Gregory, I've talked with him about this at length, about all the various things, and I mean, I'm going to be using this. So without going into, a heavy, this is great and I heavily endorse it and all that stuff, which I do, let me just suffice it to say that, if you log in tomorrow or the next day, that my sites are in there. So I can't really say much more than that. Gregory has done everything that's humanly possible and beyond to make sure that this is the best in class. And it's backed up by Colin's development team, again, behind Command Center. It works. It's solid. It's crazy good. I'll probably, this is one of those things that I wish he invented like 5 years ago, so I could have been enjoying it all this time.
Let me reiterate this also. Greg Morrison, myself, Mike Long, David Mills, we just ordained Stephen Floyd last week. You heard it on the webinar as the king of PBN safety. If I have any questions about PBN safety, there's one person I go to, Stephen Floyd. Greg Morrison, I spent all weekend with him. Greg and I talk all the time. Greg and I's SEO is identical. He says the same thing. Stephen Floyd is the king of PBN safety. So what I'm trying to say is he's endorsed it. And he's looked at it up and down. He was telling me that he's looked at it for the last week. It's solid. So questions about if it works or if you think you're smarter than someone or that you found something that didn't work, let's just alleviate that all right there. Gregory, do me a favor right now. Everyone's anxious to know how they can get in. Show them how they can get in, and then for those of them that are on the fence, we're going to show them some more things that this can do. The PBN trading alone is enough to where I'm sold. But not only that, to manage your PBNs and to not ever have to log into them and to look at them from thumbnails and to manage it like that without a footprint is insane. I mean, it's just insane.
Yep, I'm actually going to put the link right now, Cotton, inside of the chat box to everyone, so that way everyone can at least see where they can sign up while I go over some more stuff.
Great.
There we go. Perfect. Yep. So the link got sent to everyone right now in the chat box.
Do me what I'm going to do also is I'm going to post it in the Facebook group also. Guys, give me a 1 if you've got it in the chat box. I want to make sure that you got it, and then we're going to go ahead and post it over here as well. So, good. Please continue, Gregory.
Cool. So another feature of it that's one of the primary features is being able to obviously post to your site, right? Or post to the sites within your network. So if you go under submit content, you can either use an existing project or create a brand new one. I'll just go with this is a test. And by the way, this is one of the most important things for me was organization, which is why you have projects and everything. I know managing a lot of PBNs is hard to keep track of things, so everything is kind of done for you. Another thing that we integrated was making sure that in case you didn't know like LSIs or different phrases that you can use for your keyword, it'll actually generate it for you, right? So let me show you something. If I go ahead and let's say I was interested in doing something for a food blog, I can just click on Get Ideas, and you'll see how quickly it just pulled all that up for me, right? So it's giving me different keywords that I can use for it. Now I'm going to choose if I want it to show up. Now box 1, box 2, and box 3, really all that means is 3 different anchor texts. So I can have this be my first anchor text, my second anchor text. I can even have this one be the second as well. Now this is another unique feature. You can load up as many keywords as you want for a specific anchor, and it'll randomly choose one of them, okay? There's nothing else like that exists that allows you to do this. So you'll see what I mean in a second. When I click done, you see all these keywords here. Now when I put my URL, all right, let's see, it's foodblog.com, it's going to choose one of these keywords to post to. It's not going to do all of them. It's just going to choose one of them randomly. So this helps you to keep everything as random as possible as well. Okay? Hopefully everyone understands that. Now another thing too is, as you know, you usually want to post an authoritative site. Now one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is everyone posts to an authoritative site being just Wikipedia. There's a lot more authoritative sites other than just Wikipedia, right? So if I want my keyword that's authoritative to be food, I just click on Find Authority Links, type in food, and what's going to happen is it's going to find all the authoritative EDUs for me, and it'll start pulling them up automatically for me. So what's going to happen is you're going to see just like this, it'll pull up box 1, box 2, box 3, just as we had before. And it's going to pull up all these different authoritative links that you can link out to. This is also going to help keep you diversified. Because imagine if you had a client and every single PBN that was pointing to them, all the authority links were all to Wikipedia. That's kind of a footprint. So we're trying to keep things random here, right? So that's going to be box 3. I'll click done. And boom, it's in there. You can even make it no follow with a click, and you can make it open in a new tab with a click. You don't have to do HTML for either. And just take note, you did all this within the dashboard. You never had to leave to go to Google to find stuff. So no more do you need to keep switching between tabs, jumping between browsers. Everything is done here. Now when you go to the next step, this is going to be the actual step of creating the post. Now, one of the things we mentioned a little bit earlier, or Cotton did rather, was spinners like Word AI. If you do have spinners, you don't need them. You can definitely use your own unique article. But if you do have spinning accounts, such as the Best Spinner, Word AI, or the Best Spinner, they're integrated in here as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and, I think I have one copied. No, I actually had it in here in Grammarly. So I'm going to copy my article. I'm going to post it in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Word AI, because just like Cotton said before, that was one of his favorites, so we'll go with that one. And I'm going to click on Spin Content. You notice it's connecting.
Hold on.
It'll take a few seconds.
Hold on one moment. Are you, see, now I never knew this. Are you going to tell me that you get Word AI in with this as well?
If you have a Word AI account, yeah, you can put in all your credentials, and it'll connect to it automatically.
Wow.
The same thing if you have a Best Spinner account or if you have Spinner Rewriter account.
Wow. Guys, let me just ask you a question because I'm kind of curious. How many of you have already picked this up? Give me a hashtag picked up. Picked up. I want to see in the Facebook group. Put it in where the picture's at. I want to see it. I've already posted on there. How many of you have actually picked this up? Because, guys, I just think that you're, I mean, please, if you picked it up, post over there. I need to see this, guys, because if you don't understand what a game changer this is, and you know that Gregory has spent months and months putting this together, asking all of us what's like needed for a PBN manager. Guys, it's exhausting when you get over 100 PBNs. Guys, if you haven't picked this up and if you don't understand how powerful this is, there's something wrong. I want you to think about this. You're going to be able to double your PBNs for the cost of one PBN per month at $69. It makes no sense why you wouldn't take advantage of this. Guys, literally, I want you to be honest with me right now and post it in the chat box. There's only Derek, Gregory, and myself can see it. Why wouldn't you buy this? Tell me the reason that you're not getting it, because I got to know. And I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to say anything. I just would literally like to know why you wouldn't want to double your PBN network for what a PBN costs. I just want to know. If you're not going to do it. So, if like you guys are already sold, let me ask you this. How would you like for Gregory to do, and he will, and he doesn't even know I'm going to offer him to do this. How would you like for Gregory to hold a special webinar to even go through more tricks and features that this has? Would you like that? Give me, and that's just for people that have bought it. Give me a number 4 if you would like that. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you, and guys, here's another thing that you don't know. This is an evergreen product. This is going to continue to have things added to it. Gregory keeps asking me, Cotton, what do you want added to it? You know what I asked him for? And he's literally going to try to do it. Guys, and I'm telling you, it could very well happen. He like chuckled and he goes, well, let me look at it. I asked him for a request to put in SMS alerts or a text message alert. Guys, if my PBN got de-indexed, wouldn't you like to get a text message saying that one of your PBNs got de-indexed? Wouldn't you like to know if your site was down? Wouldn't you like to know instantly so you could look at it and see what's going on? Gregory has been frivolously trying to work to get that done. That's the type of stuff that he's trying to do and why we're supporting it and why it's called OMG Crusade. So this is going to be one of the things that is just not going to go away. So Gregory, you got a lot of 4s on here. What I'd like to do is you've already said all this all of this other stuff that it can do. Let's answer a few questions right now. It says, it's amazing. Already got it. It says, is it trade 1 PBN for 1 PBN? That's up to the group owner. Guys, you can join groups or form your own groups.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be up to the person who created the group how they do it, and everything, like I said, to kind of prevent abuse, which is perfect, is it works on a credit-based system. So if someone posts to one of your PBNs, you gain a credit. If you post to someone else's, you lose a credit. So it helps prevent abuse, but the more people are posting to your network, the more credits you get.
Gregory, that's a very good point. Could we take a little bit of time right now? Guys, you're well aware know that you can put all of your spin riders in here. We know it can do that. Can you take a little time going over the different price options? People are asking about that. If you could pull up a pricing plan perhaps and just show people what they get for what, why they would need this price plan over another price plan. Maybe that's why some of them, yeah, that would be great.
Cool. Let me just make sure this video doesn't play when I'm...
It says, what happened if someone posts a de-index money site to your PBN? What happens if you get hit by a car tomorrow? It's not going to happen.
And it's just like one of those what if scenarios. Like I said, I imagine them all already. If a site is de-indexed, that's one of the things it checks. It won't let you add it to the network. That's kind of like common sense. Don't worry about that. Like just like Cotton said, most of the what ifs are already covered. So if someone tries to put in a de-index site, you won't have to worry about posting to it because it won't be allowed to join the network in the first place. So these are the 4 different price points, Cotton, like you were asking. So there's Earl, Count, Duke, and King. Pretty much it determines how many sites you're allowed to put into the dashboard, how many different networks you're allowed to access, and how many networks you're allowed to create. Also, based on your plan, it'll also either check your indexes quicker. So, for example, the King, it checks it once a week. Duke does it about once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, and once a month. Your uptime monitor will happen like every 30 minutes, every hour, etc. One of the cooler features too is I also throw in some PBN training inside of it, depending on your plan as well. So you will have access to that. System training everyone gets. So there are videos that I've already created, and there's more that I'm continuously creating and even updating some of the older ones just to kind of show you what's inside of there, how you can use it, and everything else like that too. And Cotton, just like you mentioned, for that webinar, I'm more than happy to do it for anyone that does join.
So basically, to slow it down, the main difference between the 49 and the 69, so we all get it, is that you can't trade PBNs with the 49. It's only with the 69, right?
Exactly. Yeah. With the 49 package, you're still able to post to your PBNs. You're still able to create them remotely. Like all that stuff alone, I personally think is worth way more than $49 because you can't find that anywhere else. But to be able to access member networks, it has to at least begin at the account level.
Great. Guys, any questions? Give me a 5 if you understand the price points. Give me a 5 if it's self-explanatory. 3 if you need a little bit more explanation. Yeah, everyone pretty much gets it. Everyone's saying it's dirt cheap for them. So guys, literally, if you're not, what I want to do is just tell me if you're ranking with PBNs, which everyone says they was. And if you want to make your life easier, why wouldn't you pick this up? Why wouldn't you pick this up? So, Gregory, spend about a couple more minutes going over some more of the features. And then I think everyone's got enough information to make a decision. And you've already said that you would do one webinar, like sometime in the next 30 days. It just, maybe even sooner. It just depends. Showing everyone the ins and outs of this and how to get the most out of it, because I really don't want to drag it out too much longer for everyone because it's getting late.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just spend the next maybe 5 minutes just going over some quick other features in here really quickly. Let me just throw in how to rank online. I need to have a title and online ranking as a tag. Okay. There's also fresh article content. So if you don't have your own article, you can actually get articles written for you in here. It's a service which is called Greenlight Articles, which is very similar to iWriter and all the rest of them. And when you purchase it through them, you're actually able to have your article, if it was here, load directly in here for you. You don't have to copy and paste from one service into the other. It's all integrated completely. Also, there's Content Curator, so in case you did want to include some content from other sites in it, you're able to go ahead and get some content curated for you, and you can even add a citation to reference them back. As you can see, it pulled up a bunch of different sites that if I click View Article, it will show me the article, and I'm able to import it directly into here as well. So it helps keep you diversified. Some other really cool features that I like is spin tags. If you actually choose this, it'll make sure that you don't have any broken spin tags. So if you're getting spin content from other sites or other people, if you click this, it'll tell you if they missed one of those brackets, if you're familiar with spin tags, okay? It'll also check copyscape. It'll check your uniqueness rate, which as you can see, if I click it, because I already spun it and it was a unique article in the first place, it's 179% uniqueness, okay? Also, if I want my link to go anywhere, I could just click precisely where I want it to go. It's better to do it before it's spun, but obviously I wanted to spin it first to show you guys the spun content. Now, this is another pain in the butt that I had, and I'm sure most of you have too, is when you want to find images and YouTube videos to put on your posts, you have to keep going to all these different sites to find it. Well, this is simplified for you too. So let's pretend I wanted to choose between 3 different images, right? And I wanted something that was based on food. I just click on search, and as you can see, it found 3 images for me based on food, okay? And then I could choose if I want one to show, or I could even do all 3 of them. So to randomly choose one of those 3 for me, okay?
Guys, how easy does this make it? Oh, I mean, you don't even have to go anywhere, and it's searching for pictures.
Yeah.
For pictures, but videos too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I hated spending time on, so I figured, hey, might as well be built in here. As you can see, it pulled in all the YouTube videos for me. You can preview them if you want. And like I said, you could choose one of the videos or all 3 of them to post. Then when you finally go over to step 5, which is the final posting phase, you can either have it post to your own sites. So one of my networks, let's say it was testing, right? It'll even show me my stats so I can make sure I'm posting to the right site. So I don't want to post to that one because it's the index. I'm sorry. I want to post to, let's say, this one because it is indexed. So I'll just uncheck it. This is the site it's going to post to. Another cool thing is it actually pulls in your categories. So if you have categories, it'll show you. You can choose which category. And if you don't, you can even go directly to your WordPress site manually. And then if you click this refresh button after you created the category, it'll update it in real time, which is sweet. And in case you did want to post to one of your member networks, you wouldn't choose the private, you just choose one of the member networks that you're a part of, and it'll actually post in that network. Now, another cool thing is you can actually drip feed it. So if I had spun content that was very, very, very well spun, and I wanted to post that to 3 different sites, I can actually do that. And I could drip feed it over 3 days. I could drip feed it to post every 2 days, every 3 days, once a week, once a month. And I can set how quickly I want the first one to post, within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour. So I'll go ahead and click on within 5 minutes. It'll actually show me a preview on how it's going to look. As you can see, everything's randomized, right? It even detects plagiarism for me, which is awesome. And after it detects the plagiarism and it doesn't find any type of plagiarism whatsoever, it'll actually go ahead and let me post it to the site. So it'll take a few seconds to go ahead and check it, which it did. I click on submit article, and boom. It is finished posting to my site. As you can see, I posted to those 3 sites. So literally, if I wasn't talking and showing you guys all this, you can literally be posting to sites within like the time span of 1 minute to 2 minutes.
Wow.
That's how quickly I keep posting to all my sites now.
Amazing. Guys, like I said, Gregory said he was good with an OMG webinar to go over different features. I don't want to keep you guys very long. Guys, we have already sent out the link to do it. I'm literally going to shake my head at anyone that doesn't grab this, just for the very fact of it is, of how powerful you can make your network instantly, just by trading PBNs with other people. I mean, you don't know how many times I've done that. Early on in my days, I'd run out of PBNs, and I would reach out to someone and say, hey, look, I got 3 PBNs. I need 3 more links. And I would let them post on my network. I post on theirs. On I would go. But guys, I wasn't always making a lot of money. This right here can alter what you do. It can make your whole life a lot easier with PBNs. That's all I'm basically going to say about it. We've already sent the link out to you. You got the link on here. So guys, literally, it could be one of the silliest decisions you've ever made. The cost of 1 PBN a month, you're going to be able to get access to triple that, maybe 10 times that.
Oh, and Cotton, I'm sorry. There's just one thing that I have to show everyone because someone just asked about it.
Right.
And that is, so someone said, what about footprints I have on my own site? There's a footprint finder built in here. So this software is footprint free, but it's actually going to tell you if your sites have footprints so you can fix them.
There you go.
So it'll tell you, like if I had the same IP between 2 different sites, it'll pop up here telling me, hey, you have the same IP.
Guys, even a footprint finder, even if you mess up, it's crazy. Crazy, guys. And guys, that's literally not it. We've just ran out of time. Guys, this has been an incredible webinar. Hopefully, you've been able to take a lot of information away from this. You've been blown away by OMG Crusader. You've realized now that you can triple, even times 10 your PBN network for a very inexpensive price. We've went through a lot of softwares tonight. And that's what we've used. Hopefully you've got to be able to walk away with a better understanding of Trustflow, what Majestic does, how to use everything that we've talked about. Guys, if there's any questions that you've got, we will stick on for a couple minutes and ask. And they want to know, do outsourcers have admin access?
If you give your outsourcer your username and password,
there you go.
Log into your account. Yeah.
Right. We had one person ask for a phone number. Well, unfortunately, I don't know what you would, guys. If you can't make a decision if you need to talk to someone to spend $69, you don't understand SEO very well. You need to go back through Greg's training. I mean, this is no-brainer stuff here. And by the way, for those of you that ask, yes, Greg does use this. Greg has an account. So there you go. So what I'm trying to say is guys, make your decision. I think it's crazy. If you don't get it, I'm going to be putting my PBNs in there. Stephen Floyd's going to be putting his in there. So is Fletch. So is Greg. So guys, I'm just telling you, take advantage of it. If you want to be able to mix and mingle with everyone and expand everything, please do so. Guys, what I want you to do is take a moment. Please thank everyone. I want you to thank Gregory Ortiz for creating this. It's not going to go away. We're going to keep promoting it. You're going to hear about it, just like you did OMG Command Center. So it's going to be something you're going to get bumped over the head with quite often. And we're happy to stand behind it and put the OMG name in the back of it. So with that, guys, if there's no other questions, you can message Gregory Ortiz personally through his messenger if you got any specific questions that you need. Not sure what the assimilation webinar will be next week, but we will definitely do our best to always give you the best information and leave you smarter than you came in. So with that, guys, please pick up OMG Crusader, Juicy Domains also, if you're looking for PBNs. If you have any questions about some of the software we went over, please do. Guys, there's one thing I want to go over with. We were all in the assimilation group. It's very different than the OMG group. If we get tagged, if any of the people gets tagged in there, only people that make over 30K are allowed to answer the questions that are tagged. Don't answer questions if one of the people that's going to be a sticky post in there is it. If it's me, if it's Gregory, if it's Stephen Floyd, the assimilation is only going to be answered by people that make $30,000. That is the first time a group is going to be like that. Other groups, you're getting a lot of information for people. No rankings, no income. It's not going to be that way in this group. So just to let you know. So guys, we'll see you next week. Have a good night, and we look forward to Gregory announcing when we're going to have that webinar to go over the OMG Crusader a little bit more, because it's going to be powerful and it's going to be a game changer. Any last words, Gregory?
No, I just want to thank you and thank everyone. And obviously, because of being in OMG and experiencing everything from the beginning on, this is why I wanted this created, because I know how frustrating it could be sometimes to manage so many different things. So I want it all in one tool. So I wanted to share it with everyone else.
Great. Stephen, any last words?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Gregory for sharing this with us.
Yeah, definitely. Derek, any last words?
Thank you, Stephen.
No, just everyone have a good night. I'm going to be sure to check out this tool. So.
Great. You'll be getting your free account here shortly if you haven't got one. So all right, guys. Good night.